Welcome to our Day of Support. I'm Avery Hutchins, President and CEO of WCTE, and with me I have Dion Hawkins, our Membership Coordinator. Welcome, Dion.
Thank you. Thank you.
And welcome to our viewers at home. We are going to be with you for the next couple of hours, talking to you all about the great things that WCTE does for our community, because we are celebrating 47 years.
Wow.
47
Wow,
years
big
on
deal.
air. It is a big deal. Not quite 50.
Almost there.
Almost there.
We will get there.
We are going to get there. But we really wanted to just share all the things that WCT does just throughout the year. And so today we're going to have a series of testimonials for you. We've got a number of interviews lined up from different people from all over the community, people that you might be familiar with our local shows like It's Your Business. Michael Akins is going to be coming in here shortly, we hope. And we're going to talk about our local content, our work in education, and then just our being here in the Upper Cumberland for 47 years, just a little bit of history. So I'm just excited to be here. And Dion, you're here with me.
Yes, I'm here.
So, Dion, you are new to WCTE, so you're maybe a new face for some of our viewers at home watching, but you are our new membership coordinator. You've been here 8 weeks.
Yes.
And you've already made multiple TV appearances.
I have.
You don't seem to be shy. No.
Not at all.
So why did you end up coming to Cookeville? Because you're not from the area.
Yes, I'm not from Cookeville. I've been here 2.5 years because my husband moved here for work.
Mhm.
And so we've been here. We like Cookeville. We've had our daughter here. And now we call it home. It's just a great place to raise a family.
Yes, Cookeville is great. And I think our viewers at home watching would agree with that. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a native of the Upper Cumberland, but I did move away for a short time. And then I came back. I've been with WCT now 14 years. I know, it just flies by.
She's the best person to hold the spot.
And I told her to say that to y'all. Well, Dion, you are responsible for membership, which is really super important for WCT, especially now that we have lost our federal funding as of this fiscal year, starting July 1. And it's important for members. It's important for people to understand what it means to be a member. So can you tell us a little bit about what it means to be a member?
Well, being a member with WCTE is just $5 or more a month. So it's not that much. And it gives you access to Passport. And Passport is online and it's on demand. You can watch all of our shows. And so it's a great way to just support future learning for your community and things happening in the community, and allowing TV access and just programs to people who can't afford it.
That's right. So your support as a member to WCTE, like Dion said, it could be as little as $5 a month, $60 a year. And we do have a membership goal this year. We're hoping to double our membership already. It's a pretty aggressive goal. We've had some tremendous people already show up and become members, but that membership goes right to WCTE, and it stays right here with us and all the work that we do. So when you support WCTE, you're supporting a local community licensee, which is what WCTE is. And it helps us be able to do the things that we do, like local content. If you enjoy It's Your Business, or Wish You Were Here, or Where Stories Live, or maybe you like to tune into the fair. The fair was just on last week. All the money that we get through membership is what helps us produce those types of local shows. And it also helps us bring PBS Kids content to our viewers in the area all over the Upper Cumberland. So, it's just so important. And a benefit of membership, like Dion mentioned, is Passport. And Passport is it's an on-demand viewing of extended content, but it also gives you sometimes extended viewing, which is always a fan favorite.
Yes, awesome. You can watch your shows at your leisure. It's amazing, without ads, without commercials. So it's a great way to support your community while also having that at your disposal.
Yeah. I love the on-demand viewing. I think a lot of people have started going to that on-demand viewing. But WCTE not only does on-demand viewing, we also do streaming, and we're still free over the air. So if you're at home, if you're in a rural community, maybe you don't have fiber access, you don't have internet, maybe you don't get cell service. My parents live in an area in Overton County. They don't get they don't have cell service, and thankfully they do have fiber, but it wasn't until just in the last couple of years. And so being able to have access to 4 free over-the-air channels that WCTE offers is huge. It's a lifeline for people in those areas with public safety alerts, which we'll talk about a little bit later today, but it's also access for early learning. So children in those rural communities that may not have access to a pre-K program, maybe the pre-K program has filled up in their area, or maybe there just isn't one that's available to them. They are able to tune in to WCT's PBS Kids and go ahead and get started on that early learning. It's so critically important.
So important.
Yes. And yours is 16 months.
Yes. She's about to be 16 months. Yes.
Yeah. So Jubilee will have lots of learning to do. I'm sure that PBS Kids is on in your house.
Yes.
No,
Absolutely.
for sure. But we got a lot to share with you today, and we're just really excited that you're tuned in. We hope you will stay with us. If you want to make a gift, you want to become a member of WCTE, you can visit our website at wcte.org/support and then click on become a member. There's also a way you can text gifts. You can also mail in a gift. You may decide that you prefer just to send something in, and we have been getting all kinds of gifts in celebration of this 47 years of history right here in the Upper Cumberland. We're going to have lots more to share with you.
So much more. Stay tuned for sure. It's
Yes.
going to be a good evening.
Yes, we're going to have a great time. And I believe Michael Akins is coming up next. And I think we have a little bit of a testimonial, maybe from Cephas Jr.
Yes.
And he's going to help us see what he cares about PBS Kids and why it's so important to them. And some of these other testimonials that you're going to hear today is going to it's going to warm your heart. And you know that the funding and the money that comes to WCTE is going to support lifelong learning right here in the Upper Cumberland. And that's really just what we're all about. 47 years of history right here, capturing and learning and building the culture right here in the Upper Cumberland. So we hope you will stay with us. You're watching WCTE PBS.
Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Are you ready for me?
Yes.
Oh, my name is Cephas. My really favorite is Rosie's Rules. And the reason why I like Rosie's Rules so much is because it has a brother and a sister and a cat. She speaks a little Spanish, and her abuela helps her figure things out. I love hearing his stories also because he makes wrong mistakes, but those mistakes teach him a lesson and help him figure things out too. Oh, we have to talk about Lila and the Loop. I like Lila and the Loop because Stu's funny and Stu's my favorite cat. He's funny. He makes mistakes that are okay. I love PBS Kids. Thank you for supporting PBS Kids. Can't play with the iPad. Why do we have to finish it off?
For 48 years, WCTE PBS has been your trusted source for local stories, emergency alerts, and free educational programs for children. Now, a $1 million federal funding cut puts it all at risk. Your gifts keep WCTE strong and on the air. Donate now at wcte.org/support.
So glad you're here to watch Day of Support, WCTE turning 47. You just met Dion Hawkins, our first membership coordinator. Not first, but current. And she was up first on the show. So I'm glad you got to meet her, and she'll be back after a while. But a fan favorite right here, Michael Akins, Dr. Michael Akins.
Hello.
Welcome.
I'm glad
Welcome
to be
to
here.
the studio.
Absolutely.
I know the viewers at home know your face,
Yeah.
but how do they know you?
Well, I am, among many other things, I'm the host of It's Your Business on WCTE PBS, and we are entering our 6th season this
It's
year.
incredible. You know, that
Isn't that
doesn't
wild?
normally happen.
It does not.
seasons usually are 2 or 3 maybe, but to go 6 seasons is really incredible. And you have had incredible stories, but
have.
before, if you haven't caught It's Your Business, tell the viewers, like, what was the brainstorm behind
Right.
the show, and why did you decide, like, 5 seasons or 6 seasons ago, this is what you wanted to do?
Well, so how it originally started, this was back in the pandemic. I work at Tennessee Tech University. I run a research center there called the Center for Rural Innovation, and we actually got some of the CARES Act funding. And the agency that gave it to us, they said, here's some money. Come up with something cool that's going to help your region, address the pandemic, mitigate it, et cetera. And so what we did is we thought, what would be really cool is we've got this great station right here in our community. Let's start finding out how local businesses are innovating around the pandemic. How are they surviving? So we told those stories, and then that went really great. And then the second season, the USDA came to us and said, this is wonderful. How about you start thinking about just telling stories of all our rural businesses? And I said, that sounds wonderful. So they funded it. And then it just really took off from those 2 seasons. And we've continued to fund it at the university ever since.
And you're not just getting stories like maybe in the Putnam County area. You're really trying to pull in stories from all over the Upper Cumberland.
All over the Upper Cumberland, absolutely.
Yeah. So when you first started, what was people's biggest hesitation? Were they kind of like, oh, I don't know?
Well, I would say the biggest hesitation then and still persistent now is, first of all, is it live? People are afraid of doing live, and understandably so. It can be a little different to be live, but
what do you mean by that?
Right, exactly. But what I tell them is, no, we'll come out to your business. We're not going to ask you any gotcha questions or anything like that. That's some of the hesitations, like, well, what is this guy going to ask me?
And when you think about being an entrepreneur, you're an expert in whatever that is.
Right.
You're not always the marketing guru or the business or the accounting. And so now you're asking them to do a TV show, and they may be not, that may just not be their thing. But I know, there's just so much that you've learned from doing the show, but do you have a favorite segment? Well, and is that even fair to ask?
Well, I will say it's not fair to ask, because literally, and I don't mean to sound cliche or put you off here, all of them are my favorite episodes and clips, because they're all so different. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I've learned through all of this is businesses. Obviously, we know different businesses do different things, but entrepreneurs come from all areas of life, all kinds of experience. And it just is really interesting to hear their unique individual story, because there's not one single one that's the same.
That's right. Yeah. And being in a rural community, would you say that being an entrepreneur is like prevalent, just because, what if they want to live here, they want to raise their family here, and they're trying to figure out, how do I make a living here? What is my skill set and what can I give? Do you find that to be true?
I do find that to be true. And also I will tell you that, right here in our Upper Cumberland region, that 85 to 90% of our businesses actually are small businesses. They're run by entrepreneurs, just like you and I. And people do find out, the ways that they get into owning a small business are varied, but I think one common thread is that they had an idea of how to do something better. And then they took that leap of faith, crossed that fence, and now they're doing it.
Yeah. And they've got a segment on It's Your Business.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. Well, we are going to be coming up with a segment, and we hope you'll stay in and tuned to watching this. But right now you're watching our special coverage of Day of Support, WCTE turning 47 years old, serving the Upper Cumberland. We are raising money today in support of WCTE. We're hoping that you'll consider becoming a member. There's some information on your screen, but the website is wcte.org/support. Just click Become a Member. If you're already a member, maybe you would want to give an ad gift. Every dollar counts. Yes. We are working towards a $30,000 goal for today, but we're also wanting to double our membership this year.
Absolutely.
So these memberships that we're starting to bring that come in right now are going to go towards that goal. So we're going to go to this segment. It's called, remind me.
It's called Folk Stays.
Folk Stays.
Yeah, and they're down in Van Buren County, and you'll see the clip, but it's a couple young kids that they've started doing basically Airbnbs, and how did they do that? So very, very cool.
I think that's really cool, and I'm glad to be able to highlight them today. Again, if you're interested in making a gift to WCTE, check out the wcte.org/support. You can also text a gift in, and I believe that number is, you're supposed to text I love WCTE, all spelled out, to 76278. So that's I love WCTE, and you text that to 76278, and it'll send you a link and you can make a gift that way.
Absolutely. And those gifts are so incredibly important. Obviously, the financial aspect is important, but becoming a member, being able to give to something that stays right here in your community, the telling stories, it's just such an incredible feeling to be a part of that. So I encourage everybody to do that.
Thank you, Michael. All right, let's go check out that segment.
Short-term rental company, and we have 4 locations currently. So we host people from all over the country.
So you're a short-term rental company, and that means, of course, we're standing in one of your properties right now, but you have more than just this. Walk us through a little bit of, what properties you have, where they are.
So we have the 4 properties. Our first one is the Quail House. It's an A-frame located in Sequatchie County. Also in Sequatchie County, we have a container home. And then on this property, we have this Treehouse Wren, and we have another home called Crane's Cabin.
Very cool. So I can't help but notice that's all bird themed. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so every one of our houses are bird themed. So everything you see here was pulled directly from the bird that we use to theme the houses, from the color to the tile to the type of material we use.
So how long have you all been doing this? And more importantly, what gave you the idea to do short-term rentals?
We've been doing it for about 4 years now. And short-term rentals has personally been a goal of mine for about 15 years. I actually come up with the idea in school, and I started college as an architect major, and that kind of transitioned to graphic design just because I enjoy design. And so I started a graphic design business, and that did well, and that led into our real estate career.
Something that really inspired us when we first started dating, we really liked traveling and going to different cabins and stuff and taking photos and dreaming of having those cabins one day.
So you're dreaming about having the cabins, and fast forward a few years, you have them now. How did you really go from graphic design and dreaming to actually owning this? Walk me through that journey.
A lot of it was research. I spent years just researching YouTube videos, books, anything you could think of, learning every aspect of real estate. I really didn't want to jump in without knowing I was going to succeed. The reason we landed on short-term rentals is because we're very creative people, and I wanted to have a lot more meaning behind our real estate journey. And so doing short-term rentals let us be creative and let us do exactly what we wanted.
So you've got the dream. You're very creative people. You've got this idea of what, these short-term rentals may look like. How did you actually go from the dream to building? I see these blueprints on the walls. There had to be so much work involved in that.
We started actually with a remodel. We didn't build our first house. We were looking and looking and looking, and we just happened to find an A-frame, and we were like, I think we can do this. We went and looked at it, and as soon as we walked in the house, I just knew in my heart that that was our house. And so we spent 9 months remodeling it, and that was our aha, we can actually do this moment. And we specialize in unique homes, and there's not many on the market. And so that's how we got led into building. We wanted to build things that other people couldn't find.
And before that, actually, we bought a bus and turned it into a tiny home. And we bought a bus, a van, and an RV, kind of all spread out and done that. So that's really where I learned the skills at. And like she said, then we found the A-frame, and that was really to put my skills and her design and stuff into action.
So you all are designing the concepts for these. Are you physically doing the work yourself?
A lot of the work I do. We're starting to get away from that. But at the very beginning, definitely where we're located, there wasn't really many people interested or have the knowledge to build homes like we have. And so I do a lot of the finish work. We do all the design work, but framing and stuff like that, we hire out.
Right now, you've got these 4 properties. You're also conveniently located very close to Fall Creek Falls State Park. I would imagine that people are coming down here to go to the park. What else are the other reasons that people really want to stay here as versus a hotel or something like that?
I think what we offer is a big selling point. At a hotel, you're not getting a curated experience, and here we really try to give a unique experience and be great host, and we provide coffee and snacks and popcorn and all of that kind of stuff on top of all the amenities we have, hot tubs and outdoor showers, and we even provide like laundry detergent and all of those things that you don't get at a hotel.
We want to make sure we're not just a place to sleep. We want our house to be a place you come and you're spending a majority of your time here because we have so much to do here.
So I'm a prospective customer, right? I think I want to stay here. I go to your booking site, maybe Airbnb. How are you managing all these different ways for people to actually book? Tell us about that.
So we are listed on Airbnb, VRBO, and have a direct booking site. So through the system, they have a thing called iCalendar. It's so you pretty much put your link to every calendar in each system. It's so when somebody books on a direct booking site, it blocks on other calendars. And so it really takes care of itself for you. And so we have one place that we can look at, and it'll tell us when the guest is coming, where they're coming from, and where they booked at.
Well, let's talk about maintenance. What does that look like? Above and beyond just stocking things, you've got 4 properties. I own 1 house. That's enough maintenance to begin with. How are you dealing with 4?
We rely heavily on our cleaner to let us know when things are broke or need attention. A lot of the maintenance is little things. One good thing about short-term rentals is we're in here a couple times a week. So we get to come in and unlike long-term rentals where you might not be there for months, short-term rentals, there's a lot of attention to give. And so a lot of the maintenance is just little things, like our hot tubs and outdoor showers also require a lot of maintenance and chemicals. And we're constantly checking those chemicals and making sure, we don't have any frozen pipes during the winter and stuff like that.
So you got maintenance, you got properties to take care of, you've got guests and hospitality. You also have to have a life. How do you balance work and life and married life?
I think a big thing is systems. We try to put a lot of systems in place. We have cleaners that work for us. We have our booking site that does most of our scheduling. And other than that, we try to make sure everything's in place before they get here.
Similar question. Married couple doing business together. What's the dynamic like?
It's been really good. He takes the lead when it comes to the building and stuff. I help out when I can, but we have a son now, so I've stayed home a lot. I do a lot of help with the design and picking out the paint and things like that. And I help with the social media and the messaging, but when it comes to the hands-on and the maintenance, he does all of that. So we've really divided, and he knows his roles. I know my roles.
I also think that it helps that we're on the same page. We have very similar styles. Our
Similar
design,
goals.
similar goals, similar styles. So we don't butt heads a lot like most people do on construction. Even if there is something that we might not agree on, we talk about it, we figure it out, and in the long run, it always works out, and we make the right decision.
What I'd like to know now is you all have been doing this for about 4 years, I believe you said. So thinking back to when it all started, you're doing the tiny home, you're doing graphic design. What do you know now that you wish that you really knew then?
I think at the very beginning, I probably took on too much work. And so if I could put the systems I have in place now at the very beginning, I feel like it would have made the beginning stages a lot easier. Like our cleaners, we cleaned our own homes for a while, and that put a lot of strain on our family life and our at-home life because it's a lot of work. And so if I could go back, I would have probably hired a cleaner a little bit sooner. I would have hired a lot of stuff out that I didn't back then, and that would have helped.
But at the same time, too, probably saved some money, taught you some lessons.
Yep.
So speaking of lessons, y'all are business owners. You've been doing this for a few years. Maybe somebody's watching this show right now that's thinking, you know what, I could start a business, whether it's short-term properties or something completely unrelated. What advice would you provide to them?
I think that you should do your due diligence, but don't be too scared to start, because a lot of times you get hung up on all the small details, and a lot of times it just takes that first step to get the ball rolling, and that's the hardest step. So if you could just take that leap, do your research and be confident and get started now instead of later.
And go into it knowing that you're going to succeed. Whatever obstacles you run into, just work through them and you'll do it.
I'm willing to bet you all have got some plans for the future.
Yeah, so we also do long-term rentals. So right now we've just bought an old car wash that's abandoned, and we always like to do unique things. So we're currently making that into studio apartments.
And we also have plans on this property for more short-term rentals. And we've kind of started talking about another one.
So many, many things in the works. Well, Gage, Allie, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
That was just a beautiful segment, folk stories on It's Your Business.
That's right.
That was a great story, Michael.
Yep.
Tell me, how do you find these stories?
Well, that's a great question. They come from all different places. I would say mostly now they're coming from referrals. So I will talk to people that I interview, and I'll say, hey, if you know any other colleagues or business owners that that you'd recommend. And what we find is that really works out well because it kind of gives us a warm referral. But sometimes I just see an interesting business and I'll reach out to them and cold call them.
Kind of like the tiller.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I bought a tiller this weekend, and turns out that he actually is a business owner, and he agreed to be on season 6.
That's
so,
exciting.
yeah.
That's exciting. What do you see season 6 covering? Do you have a vision for it? Like, we talked about even revisiting some old
Yes.
original stories that we had early on, but
Yep. Well, exactly that. So we're going to have a mixing of content. So we'll have content that is brand new, and what we're really hoping to do, like you said, is revisit maybe season 1 and 2. Many of those businesses were either just starting out, or maybe they were way far, into their business journey, and we'd like to see where they're at right now. So season 6, you just have to tune in. There's going to be all kinds of things on.
well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
You are watching Day of Support on WCTE PBS. We are live in the studio on the square, and we're celebrating 47 years of history.
47.
I know, it's just crazy. I'm not 47, but the station's
Right.
47. And we are excited because we are asking people to step up, become members on this anniversary. If you're not a member, become a member. It's simple. It's $5 a month, $60 a year, or you can give more than that. That's just our basic
course.
membership. And that comes with Passport. You can also give an ad gift. So maybe you're already a member, but you want to give a little extra. You can do a one-time gift on our anniversary. And we've had some people already
We
call
have.
in with
We
some
have.
gifts. So
So I'd like to give a big shout out and thanks to Allison and Pamela for their recent gifts.
that's great. And I know we have some others, and we're going to be recognizing those people throughout today's show. We're going to be here for a couple more hours, and we've got Shan Stout coming up, and I think we've got a blooper reel
We
from It's
do.
Your Business.
That's a lot of fun.
So enjoy this. You're watching WCTE.
And you may find that owning your own business isn't as intimidating as it seems. For those who pay their beautiful market of right out of their home with the Mountaintop Candle Shop. Mountaintop? Well, when you have the necessary resources for success at I'm a snake, Craig. I'm slithering through the studio like a snake. To learn more about free small business resources, I'm going to get some of them resources, Craig. What do you reckon I can get some of them? For many people, it's virtually impossible to get their day started without that first I don't know, a latte about coffee.
WCTE's Day of Support is brought to you by Rogers Group, Swallows Insurance, and Cheryl Sandlin.
Over
Over the years, the amazing people of the Upper Cumberland have generously supported our mission at WCTE, and we cannot thank you enough for all you have done to help make what we do for our region possible. If you're not a member of WCTE, you can become one today and join our wonderful family.
WCTE PBS is facing one of the biggest challenges in our 48-year history. To keep the programs you love on the air, to local stories and PBS Kids, we must grow our membership by 50%. That's a big goal, and we can't reach it without you. If you watch WCTE, if you believe in the power of storytelling, education, and trusted news, now's the time to stand with us. Support what matters, watch what matters. Become a member today at wcte.org/support.
Hi, I'm Dr. Debbie Barnard. I stand with WCTE PBS because it informs, educates, and connects our community, from Masterpiece to Wish You Were Here and Nova to Where Stories Live. Right now, WCTE PBS needs us. If we don't act, we risk losing this vital local resource. Join me. Become a member today. Let's keep WCTE PBS strong for all of us.
That was a great testimonial from Dr. Debbie Barnard. She came in and shared with us how important WCTE is to her. And we're just very excited to be here today, coming live from the studios on the square at WCTE. I have Shan Stat with me, joining me now. Michael, you just heard from Michael Akins on a popular hit series show in its 6th season, It's Your Business. But some of you may know Shan from Wish You Were Here.
Hi, everybody. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me,
Of
Avery.
course, of course. And you may also know Shan from a series of other things because she's all over this community and the Upper Cumberland. But for us, she's been a host on Wish You Were Here, which it was a 3-season series, and it did a lot. So why don't you describe the show to him?
First off, we really envisioned it as an opportunity to market tourism across the Upper Cumberland. That was the goal.
Yep.
It was going to be one season. And we were all like, yeah, sounds like a great idea. This is a wonderful way to use this tool to reach you and show you all the things.
And you volunteered your time.
Absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? And then you get the call, season 2.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, we're still doing this. And there were still so many great things to showcase. And then season 3, and we're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
This can't be real. So dream come true. And being director of tourism, you can't ask for a better opportunity to showcase all the great things that you're promoting behind the scenes already. So to do it on a platform with WCTE, it was amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. I thought it was a great show. Craig Gray is the producer for that show.
Love it.
And he really, I mean, his cinematography was beautiful. And I feel like the show only got better as it went along.
Well, I hope so.
We
were trying to get better.
And our talent, our host for that show, were all just people that we knew. And we said, come help us with the show. And so they weren't like professional. Well, you were probably. You're most experienced.
Absolutely not.
But you know, Caitlin and Rafferty and Matt, and
they're all good friends
Yeah.
too. If you can't tell by watching it in the show, we all just adore each other, help each other, make fun of each other.
Yeah.
It tickles me because Rafferty, every good blooper he has involves fishing, and he's an expert fisherman. So we find that hilarious.
I know. I think it is really a fun show. And I know we would get a lot of calls from viewers just saying how much they love the show and they would tune in just to watch it. But we would get calls from people from other states.
We have visitors that come in. We had a group, there were 18 from Arkansas. I didn't know the show was reaching that far. So I was like, are you sure you don't have me confused with somebody else? And they were just like, no.
They recognize you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I couldn't believe that. We just thought that was adorable and such an honor.
Yeah. Well, that's just one thing that WCT does with our local content is, yes, we're telling our local story right here for people to watch, but it also goes statewide. So that show went statewide for 3 years in every community across the state. But then people would find it on like the YouTube channel and they would watch it. And then we had a couple from like Oklahoma who drove over in their truck and went to Poets across the street. And
they followed the journey.
Yes.
Like they would do an episode and they would go to all the places and they would do another episode. And so it was its own game.
Well, that And we had a gentleman in Jackson County that called to say that they were new to the area and they would watch an episode, and then that was their excursion for the next week. They were retired and they wanted to get to know the area. So the show brought all kinds of people to the area, but also it opened the eyes of locals to all the beautiful things that we have and the things to do.
Well, I was one of those locals. I thought I knew everything there was to do. And every time I'd be sent on a new assignment, I'd be like, oh my goodness, I've got to bring my family here. I mean, I didn't know you could do this on top of what I already knew about the location. So we all were learning together.
Well, you got the special behind the scenes look. So you got all kinds of fun. And we are going to see a segment. We're going to go to the Buffalo Ranch.
Oh, Lazy G.
Lazy G. And it's in Putnam County. And they're fun. Those buffaloes are incredible. And what they're doing after the galls are doing is incredible work.
It's a wonderful place.
Yeah. So real quick, was there a part, let's see, what was the hardest part about the show?
I guess, I call it action hosting because you're not just standing there interviewing someone, you participate. So, when we went to Cumberland Caverns, they're like, okay, we're going to stick you in the tightest spot. And so we got to actually go and do all the things and, paddle boarding. You can imagine.
So the endurance part is what you're saying, and to look pleasant while you're doing it.
I'm not exactly the most attractive person on the blooper reel. That's all I can say.
Well, we do have a blooper reel, which I'll be excited to share later. But right now we're going to go see the Buffalo Ranch. But just a quick reminder before you go, we are celebrating 47 years of WCTE history. Today, we're broadcasting live from the studios. We are asking people to make gifts, become a member today in honor of our anniversary, 47 years, day of support. I mean, what other reason to become a member but on today's date? So we're going to watch now the Buffalo Ranch and see what's going on over there. You're watching WCTE.
In the heart of Tennessee, there's a little slice of heaven you've just got to see. Oh man, wish you were here.
Welcome to Lazy G Ranch. The ranch is home to 150 bison, making it an ideal location to see and interact with these majestic creatures.
I'm here in the countryside just outside Cookeville, Tennessee at Lazy G Ranch, joined by the owners, Frida, Eddie Gall. Thank you so much for letting us hang out with you all today. The terms bison, buffalo, often used interchangeably, but Eddie, there's a difference, isn't there?
Our old timers called them buffalo. The National Bison Association is trying to get us to call them bison now. The real name for buffalo is bison.
Bison.
So, and what they do, people get them confused with water buffalo and then buffalo. So now we're trying to go to just calling them bison. But I still call them buffalo. A lot of your old timers still call them buffalo.
Eddie, tell us some of the characteristics of a bison and talk a little bit maybe about the lifespan of a bison.
A bison in captive, like we have them, can live up to 28 to 30 years old. In the wild, I'm going to say 13, 14 years would be a long life for them in the wild because the predators take care of them. When the babies are born, they're called red dogs. They weigh about 50 pounds. Within 30 minutes, they can be running under their mother's belly at full speed.
They can jump high, run fast.
Yeah, it can jump anything it can lay its chin on. That's 6 or 7 foot.
That is incredible.
They can be up to 35 to 40 mile an hour in 6 strides. They can run the length of a football field in 5 seconds.
Frida, I heard a story earlier. You got pretty close to a bison one time and were feeding it by the bottle for a while. And so I guess they're kind of like kids. They have their own personality, don't they?
They do. Sometimes you can even watch them from a distance and we can tell you which one's which. We have one, his name was Chief, and we bottle fed him and he got where we could halter him. I was leading him one day and I'd got him out of the pen, and then all of a sudden he just kind of got a little anxious. And the next thing I know, he's dragging me down the driveway, and Carlos runs out to help me, and then Eddie shows up, and we take the halter out, and he goes, "That's it. No more haltering, Chief."
You know, when you think of bison, you think more out west, Wyoming, New Mexico, but bison are part of our history right here in the Upper Cumberland. Is that not correct?
There used to be 30 to 60 million bison run. We killed them down to less than 1,000. And here in Tennessee, the last one here was killed out in the early 1900s, I think. But yes, they ran all over the U.S. and Canada.
What's the most satisfying part of all of this? Is it meeting new people, or is it just a whole bunch of combination of things?
I think educating people. I probably have 10 cars a day drive our driveway. That's very satisfying to us. We have a lot of school groups come.
It's fun to see the excitement on the kids' faces and stuff, and how that all works.
Well, thank you all so much for letting us spend some time with you today. We look forward to exploring the rest of Lazy G Ranch.
While Tennessee's bison population was wiped out due to human hunting, Lazy G Ranch is now part of a national effort to repopulate these creatures across the United States. Visiting Lazy G Ranch offers not only the chance to see these magnificent animals up close, but also the opportunity to connect with the rich history of this region.
I don't know about you, Shan, but I don't know that I'd want to be in the field with those buffaloes.
Rafferty gets all the fun segments. I'm just saying.
I know. Well, he does a great job. And all of our hosts for Wish You Were Here did a great job on that show. And but those buffalo, that's just one example of some of the excursions that you'll see on the Wish You Were Here series. And it's a 3-part series. And if you've not ever seen the show or would like to catch up on it, all the shows are on demand at the website at WCTE.org, or you can go to the PBS app and localize the WCTE, and you can watch all the shows, all 3 seasons. You can just binge watch them. And then you can go out and experience them because they're right here in the backyard. But we are celebrating 47 years of WCTE history today on Day of Support. And you're watching just a little piece of all the things that we do for the Upper Cumberland. And Shan is with me. Shan, thanks for being here.
Happy to be here. And I'm just going to say, if you take a minute and think about a world without WCTE, we've never known that world, and we don't ever want to know that world. So support it any way you can, big, small, in between, give what you can. It's all very, very important.
Yeah, thank you. We are. And, you know, we got news this year that federal funding is not going to be something that we're going to be getting this fiscal year. And federal funding is something that we have relied on pretty heavily for almost 47 years, and it's 40% of our budget. So today we're working on fundraising to help replace some of the loss of that funding. So your membership is going to help us do that. Or maybe you're already a member and you want to up your level of giving. Today is the day to do that. That's why we call it Day of Support. And we're just happy to have our viewers, and viewers watch in many ways, whether it's on demand or streaming or satellite. You can catch all of our local content and events. You might even be interested in some of the events we do. And I know, Shane, you've been to some of them.
Oh, so many.
But especially like the Great TV Auction. That's a fun one.
That's
and
a lot of fun.
Pretty popular for a lot of people. But that's what we're doing today. And we're going to be with you a couple of hours this afternoon. We will take a quick break during the PBS News Hour, but we'll come back for one more hour at 7. If you want to support WCTE, visit WCTE.org/support, or you can call us at 931-526-2222 and go ahead and pledge your support. And our goal is 30,000. You can help us get there. So you're watching WCTE, and coming up next is a bloopers reel.
Ready on set? Ready on set?
Here we go.
Do I have to clap again?
Do we get the bloopers too?
Yes, we do. It's really great. Hi, I'm Caitlin Steakley. Ha ha ha. When she visited the sergeant, dang it.
I have a vision.
Okay,
I got it.
because-
It was her vision.
Wish you were here. I don't know, did I? Hey, Craig, bet you wish you were here. Did I make that sound like weirdly romantic or something?
For a truly unparalleled craft beer tasting. Dang it! Ah!
It's that bikini over there on that boat. He can't concentrate.
Gosh. So you just pointed it out.
No, I saw you glancing.
Today, we're doing some crappie fishing. I have more bloopers than anyone else on this show. I'm just saying.
National Rolly Hole Marble Tournament in Overton County. Dang it! Ah!
Ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Ready to rumble. Got the skidder. Oh, whoa, oh, hey, this is weird.
Now you see why we don't like a whole lot of wind. They're heavy.
Slow down, you crazy child. So ambitious for you and I.
Let's see what kind of adventures field correspondent Rafferty Cleary. It's gonna make for some really good bloopers.
When you give, you're not just supporting a station, you're keeping a lifeline alive for this community. Your support means our neighbors continue to see their stories told, children keep learning with PBS Kids, and families stay informed and safe through trusted news and emergency alerts. Without you, the screen goes dark. With you, we shine even brighter. Support what matters, watch what matters. Donate to WCTE.org/support.
We always have a good time at WCTE, and we appreciate Shan and Michael stopping by just to share a little bit of insight into what they do for WCTE with our local content. Right now, I have Larry Flatt. How are you?
I am well, and good afternoon.
I'm glad you came in. You came all the way from McMinnville.
Correct.
Yes. And
Terrible rainstorm, by the way.
Oh, really? Are we
Yeah.
getting some rain? That's great.
In the Sparta area.
Okay, well, I guess we're still dry over here.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Well, Larry is a board member. He serves on the WCTE Board of Directors. So thank you for your service on that.
My pleasure.
But the first time I met Larry, we were going to shoot a story for Where Stories Live, which is a series that we've been doing for a couple of years now. And we met a gentleman by the name of LeGrand Somers.
Yes.
And LeGrand was a student at Motlow. Tell me a little bit about LeGrand.
Well, LeGrand's story, which I think we're going to look at some snippets of here in a few minutes, is not typical of Motlow students, but somewhere in his story, many of our students can find something that they can be identify with.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's being home challenged or residential challenged or deprived, whether it's not having food, whether it is not having personal hygiene items, somewhere in that story, because we are a distressed county and or maybe we're at risk. But anyway, we have a median income that's lower than most. And because of that, the story that we ran was certainly well received. It was shown at one of our, we call it convocation. It's where everybody comes back to school, the instructors and the faculty, and it was shown. And I don't believe there's a dry eye in the audience.
His story is very moving. LeGrand, I mean, he struggled. I mean, from the very beginning, like
Correct.
he attempted Tennessee Tech, and for whatever reason, trials and tribulations, and then he found himself at Montlow, just trying to get through, just get a degree, and he just seemed like he had the world that was against him almost. But you kind of met him, or somehow you were introduced to LeGrand, and you guys helped him kind of get it turned around a little bit.
Yes, I happened to be dean of our career and technical programs at the time, and one of our instructors made me aware that LeGrand was in a position that he needs some help.
Yeah.
And there were several things happened over his career, and I encourage our viewers to go find that out on YouTube or on our website and watch that story. But when we found out what was going on, he, through some people not telling me correctly about where he was in his graduation path, found out he needed several $1,000s to be able to finish. And at the time, he was living in his car, brushing his teeth out of somebody's garden hose in their backyard, and that just resonated with a lot of us. And I found out about it, approached our financial people, our foundation, and we were able to help him get through that. And I don't know if I'm giving away the story here, but he went to work for about $85,000 just 2 or 3 months after we helped him get through that.
Yeah. I mean, talk about having some grit. He certainly had it.
Yes, he
now
did.
tell us quickly about Montlow. You've got a couple of locations. Can you give it in 30 seconds maybe?
Sure. So our main campus is Moore County. That was the original campus. Our largest campus is in Smyrna, just because of the density of the population of the people. And then we have a campus in McMinnville, and we have a campus in Fayetteville, and we have a small presence in White County on the property that's owned by White County Schools. The property in McMinnville, which we would encourage you to see, consists of the original building, which has just been rededicated to Jerry Cooper, our former state senator, who unfortunately passed away. And also, then we have the Automation Robotics Training Center, which is unique. We're one, if not the only facility in the Southeast that offers industrial training and certifications at a community college level.
Right. And dual enrollment's so important these days.
Dual enrollment is over 30% of the students that go to Montlow. And last year we had over 100 students that graduated Montlow before they graduated high school.
Wow. And WCTE, I mean, we are what we consider lifelong learners at WCTE. And I feel like our viewers at home are also the lifelong learners. We start when they're young with like PBS Kids and learning, and then we just keep going from there. And what Montlow's doing with getting our young people educated and giving them resources, it only makes their life better longer down the road. So we are celebrating Day of Support, 47 years at WCTE. We're asking people to make gifts or become a member today. I don't know if we have our tracker available to kind of give people an idea of where we are, but we do have some maybe no. Well, I think we have a little graphic we're going to show, but I think we are getting up to that 5,000 or 6,000, and we're excited. Let's see what it says. Oh, there's 5,000. We may be a little bit more than that now. So thank you for those that have been out there and giving and supporting WCTE's Day of Support. We're going to go now to watch the segment on LeGrand Summers. We hope you'll stay with us. You're watching WCTE.
Every time I tried to save money, I would think, okay, let me figure out a way to save on gas mileage. So I tore out all the seats of my car, the back seats, the front seat, tore out the radio, and I was just like, I'm going to save gas money that way. So I got my Honda to be able to make 43 miles to the gallon. I would try to never stop when I was driving that car. So if a red light was coming up, I would just throw it in the neutral and coast for like 2 miles trying to, so as soon as it turned green, I could just throw it back in the second gear and keep going. I probably started getting my health to deteriorate because I would think, what can I eat? I don't like to cook, so what can I eat to save money? So I started doing things like just eating peanut butter for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'd made a certain bad deal trying to get out of, so that I could live for nearly free. I moved into another house out there in Chattanooga to try to, basically, if I flipped the house while I was going to school, then I would get a certain amount of the profit. And then while I was going through school, all of a sudden I was told to get out of the house in 3 days. And I was in the middle of a semester. Both cars I had that got rear-ended, totaled. I no longer have any cars. So all these things were happening while I'm trying to get through that university in Chattanooga, that when I lost that house, I was like shocked. I was like, what just happened? I've tried so hard to save all my money and I just lost everything to my name. I started thinking about, okay, I never want to lose my house again. I never want to be at risk of just not being in control of my life. And so I started thinking about, I saw the tiny home movement and that. So I took, I think it was $3,000 and bought this, a square box made out of garage door panels. And it had a small AC unit in it, had a light bulb, and some cabinets and a mini fridge. So I bought that, I took it home, and then I made this decision. Okay, I know for me to get through university, the only way is if I take all this money and just apply it to that degree, and I can't work anymore because I know that for me to focus, I cannot have these distractions. So I just posted something on like a yard sale on Facebook and said, who will let me live in your backyard for $100 a month? I told them I have this little meter and I'll keep track of all the electricity I make. I only want to pay $100, but we can make sure that I'm not using any money.
He had no running water, no electricity. So he didn't have the basic needs that you would need in a home. He would eat at the senior citizen living center because they had $3 meals on a certain day. And he talked about how he would shower with a hose sometimes in the backyard if the neighbors let him use their hose.
LeGrand smelled so bad. His feet smelled so bad. And I would say, LeGrand, hey, how about we shower or something? Let's go wash your feet. And I don't think he really realized where he was at, because he was trying so hard to keep his head above water.
And that is how I saved most of my money. I think I was living off of roughly $500 a month.
I feel like everyone knew LeGrand was homeless but him. He would come over to my house. I would send him home with some food because his mom always did that for me. So it's like I had to just reciprocate. I'm trying not to cry because, so yeah, I don't.
During this period, the COVID-19 pandemic caused the closure of public buildings, and unfortunately, LeGrand had his car stolen, followed by the theft of his motorbike. Additionally, he faced the financial burden of increasing student fees, which ultimately led him to make the difficult decision of discontinuing his university education. As a result, he had no choice but to sell his tiny home and move in with his girlfriend to her grandfather's home in Sparta. It was during this time there that LeGrand discovered Motlow College and the Tennessee Reconnect program, which he saw as a potential opportunity to finally finish his degree. Larry, I never get old watching that segment. I think every time I watch it, it hits a new, heartstring. and really makes me appreciate the resources we have in this community and the caring people like you and like Motlow to help people like LeGrand. So thank you for that.
Well, it is always an honor to be able to work with our students and to support them. And as I said in the earlier segment, LeGrand is just one of the individuals that is blessed to go to Motlow, in my opinion, because of the care, the family approach that we have. As a matter of fact, I wrote a note as I was waiting to come in. We're trying to put up some food and personal hygiene items, and I kind of lost track of where we are and getting that purchased and getting it ready for the semester start. So coming here today helped me remember I need to go back and work a little bit more on that.
Well, those things are so important. And I don't think those people, they don't forget when someone gives them a leg up or a support, they don't forget. They're going to remember those times in their life when they needed that help. And hopefully they'll pay it forward with somebody else. So Larry, you've been doing this a long time. How long have you been in the classroom or in the academia world?
Well, if we back up to my military days, I ran the training school at Fort Bragg, North Carolina back in the 70s.
Okay.
And then I came out and did some work in industry. And I've been at Motlow now for 17 years, 13 or 17, whatever it is. And I've started as an instructor in mechatronics, then was dean over that program, as I said earlier, and have now been running the Automation Robotics Training Center for about 9 years.
Wow. And I know you do it because you love your job.
That is correct.
Because otherwise you would have already retired and gone on and worked with the cows on the farm.
Well, I'm in my third career.
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, just quickly, because we're running out of time and we're going to take a break, but what do the students at Motlow mean to you?
Well, the students for all of us at Motlow, whether you're faculty, staff, an instructor, dean, vice president, Dr. Torrance, for people that don't know, lives here in Baxter, but he's our president, been with us 7 years now. They just, all of us together want to make sure our students have what they need to succeed and then to get introduced to the job that's appropriate for them. And so we network with companies, we network with our students, and every effort is made to make sure that everybody has a job. Out of the mechatronics program, we have about a 98% placement rate. So we're really proud of that.
You should be real proud of that. All right. It looks like we're getting ready to take a break. Larry, thank you for coming in, being with us for a few minutes. And thank you for that story with LeGrand. It's just incredible. I hope you at home are enjoying this. We're going to be with you for another couple of hours. So stay tuned in. We are celebrating 47 years in the Upper Cumberland on this day of support. You're watching WCTE.
Hi, I'm Letty Collier, and I'm a proud supporter of WCTE PBS. When I was a child, we spoke only Spanish at home. Before I ever stepped into a classroom, PBS was my lifeline. It helped me learn English. Shows like Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood taught me language, kindness, and curiosity. Today, I still love watching WCTE. It keeps me connected to what's happening in the Upper Cumberland. I especially enjoy Wish You Were Here. I've discovered so many amazing places in our region thanks to that show. And with the PBS app, I can watch thoughtful, inspiring programming anytime. In rural areas like ours, WCTE is more than just TV. It's education, it's storytelling, it's community. That's why I give, and I hope you will too.
Hello.
Hey,
welcome back.
We're checking out our numbers because Dion, we're really seeing some revenue coming in from you guys at home. And
thank you guys so much.
It's so exciting. We have a tracker, kind of an update. We just saw one, but I think we're already kind of up to that 18,000 mark. It's so exciting. And we had some people that we wanted to recognize. I don't know, Dion, do you want to make some names?
Sure, absolutely. We have Rogers Group, Tamara Beckman, AB&T, Kelly Swallows, Jim Dainty, Jenny Maffett, Martin
Ing. Yeah.
Yes. Westlake Family Fun, Barbara Reynolds, Diane Duncan, and so much more.
That is so exciting. And we are celebrating Day of Support today, WCTE's 47th year of being on the air right here in the Upper Cumberland. We service all 14 counties in the Upper Cumberland, which is just right around 400,000 viewers just in this area.
Wow.
We're also on Dish and Direct if some of you receive us that way, and that adds like another 700,000 people and puts us on into the Nashville DMA. So if you're watching out of Nashville, a big shout out to you all.
Yes.
We've got a special treat coming up here in a few minutes for those people that are in the Nashville area. So stay tuned if you're watching.
And we also know that if everyone would give just a little bit, that we would reach our goal, and that would be amazing for us. It would mean the world to us and to you.
Yeah.
So we can continue producing great shows for our community and being there for lifelong learning.
Yes, thank you, Dion. And Dion is our membership coordinator and new to WCT, and we're excited to have her here. She's doing a great job. So yes, we're celebrating Day of Support, 47 years in the Upper Cumberland. We've got great testimonials, some more interviews coming up. We hope you'll be with us till 6 o'clock. Then we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back at 7, where we'll finish up the whole night from 7 to 8. And hope you'll stay with us. We do have lots of great interviews coming up, and make your gift. Now's the time to make that gift. So you're watching WCTE.
Such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good oh, that's nice. Whose are these? They're Jimmy. Oh, Jim. Do you have
Being a good neighbor means being kind and caring to everyone you meet, and being a doer or helper wherever possible. Watching Mr. Rogers taught me a sense of order and a sort of calm approach to life. From the way he put on his comfy clothes every day when he came home from work, to the way he led us through life scenarios in the neighborhood of make-believe.
As a boy, I was a huge Mr. Rogers fan. When I think about Mr. Rogers, I see a person who was consistent in every episode, changing shoes and putting on the sweater, and no matter what happened, his voice was always calm.
To me, being a good neighbor starts with kindness. It's about thinking of others before yourself, offering a helping hand, and simply being present for those around you. It's also about that daily drive to do the next right thing, making decisions that strengthen our community, build trust, and foster a sense of belonging for everyone.
He had a way of learning right alongside you, and that showed that everyone had something valuable to share together. So honestly, have you ever heard anyone say a bad word about Mr. Rogers? He was practically the world's neighbor.
Being a good neighbor isn't limited to just your neighborhood. You can be a good neighbor at church, at work, even out of town. By respecting others, having compassion for those you interact with, genuinely caring about how they are, and then helping out, both when someone asks you and when you see there is a need that is not being met. That is how you can be a good neighbor to anyone.
Being a good neighbor is about showing up for the people around you. It doesn't have to be anything big. Sometimes it's just checking in, sharing what you have, or offering a little kindness when someone needs it. A good neighbor makes others feel like they belong, and that's something that we all need.
What I learned from Mr. Rogers is that you never know what someone else is going through. You never know their trials in life. So always look at every situation from their standpoint to get an understanding, and then make a good decision on where to go next.
A good neighbor is someone who is kind, welcoming, always willing to lend a helping hand, and aware. In order to be a good neighbor, you need to know who your neighbors are, know when you have new neighbors, and know how you can be of assistance.
I love Mr. Rogers and PBS Kids because they've taught me to be caring, gentle, and kind with other people. It's so important in stressful times to remember that you are worthwhile just as you are.
Mr. Rogers, more than anything, taught me that responding to people with kindness and a willingness to listen is one of the best ways we can bridge divides. In our deeply divided world, Mr. Rogers' lessons are more valuable than ever. He taught us to treat everyone as a neighbor with exceptional kindness, respect, and dignity.
Being a good neighbor means taking care of each other and being there in times of need. WCTE and Putnam County's relationship over the years is a perfect example of good neighbors. We work together on lots of projects, and we are there for each other in times of need. From ice storms to devastating tornadoes, we are there working hand in hand, taking care of each other. Thank you, WCTE, for always being a good neighbor.
Dion, that's just a great segment. I love seeing our staff on there talking about WCTE, as well as some of our community leaders were on there just talking about what it means for WCTE. And we even saw a glimpse of Mr. Rogers, which is always a fan favorite. We celebrated Mr. Rogers at our annual dinner back in March. And for those that attended, I feel like it was a really heartfelt moment. We celebrated being a neighbor and all the things that go along with what it means to be like Mr. Rogers. So besides becoming a member of WCTE or maybe just giving an ad gift, there's other ways that you can be involved with WCTE, Dion, and some of those are our events. And we are known for doing some pretty spectacular events, I think. But a new one that's getting ready to come up is something we've not done before. Do you want to share that?
So a brand new event here at WCTE is Afternoon Tea with WCTE. You can find out about all our events at wcte.org/events. Right on our website is all the information for all the events coming up. So the afternoon tea party is going to be in historic Rugby, Tennessee. It's going to be just a great atmosphere. It's going to be in Hester Hall. It's going to be from 1 to 3 Eastern Standard Time. So that will be 12 to 2 Central Time. And just dress up in your afternoon tea attire. And we'll have a great menu. It's a great menu with some scones, some sandwiches, just a great tea. Sue Bell is the one that's helping us. 100% of the proceeds are going back to WCTE. So that's amazing. They just wanted to find out how they could help WCTE and to raise funds with us. And so you're going to be catered to. There's going to be entertainment. Just a great day up in historic Rugby.
I can't wait for that. And that's September the 13th.
Yes.
And you can get tickets by visiting our WCTE.org website. And you can get that, or you can even look at the tickets for Blues and Brews Craft Beer Festival. We have Let's Dance coming in after the first of the year, which is a brand new fundraiser we're really excited about. And then, of course, the Haunted Half is a fan favorite as well. If you enjoy getting out in that brisk fall weather, you can enjoy the Haunted Half.
And Stations of Imagination.
And September 6th, we have Stations of Imagination, which is a family favorite, multi-generational family favorite. And that's going to be on the square in Cookville. But that one's free for the community. So no tickets required there. Just come on out with the family.
So much activities for all of the kids. We're going to take over the square. It's going to be a good time. You don't want to
Jubilee's
miss it.
taking over, y'all. Yeah, it is fun. And we enjoy ourselves at WCT. It can be a lot of work running a TV station, but I promise you, we wouldn't do this if we didn't love it. And we're excited. You know, Dion, I was looking back, and in 1981, which was just a few years after we went on the air in 78, we had 156 members.
Wow.
Those members paid $25 a year to be a member. Can you imagine? $25 a year, and we had 100 and so members. And I've talked to some of those members that were members way back then, and they talk about, you know, how important it was to them to contribute to WCT and to feel invested in the work that we're doing. And it means a lot. And now with our federal funding gone, we don't have that little bit of a safety net that we had before. So it's so vitally important for this event that we're having today, Day of Support. We're encouraging people to become members. We've got a challenge that we're going to raise. We're going to increase our membership by 50%. So we're hoping by this time next year, we'll have just a little over 4,000 members.
Over 4,000. Right now we have about 2,400, and it was just 2,200 at the beginning of July. So at the end of July, we added on 200. So we hope to double that. That is our goal. And all it takes to be a member is at least $5 a month, or at least $60 a year. Just that one gift allows you to be an exclusive member with us and to just get our newsletter, to find out, be the first to find out about our activities, to volunteer with us, just all the things, and Passport, of course. That's a big benefit. So
I think that's probably, besides wanting to give back to the community in this way, Passport is our number one benefit of why people become members. And I think once you get access and get logged in, it's very addicting, wouldn't you say? Because it's all your favorite PBS content. It's on demand at your viewing. It also gives you early releases. So if you happen to kind of want to get early jump on something, you can, like All Creatures Great and Small, you get that benefit. So consider becoming a member today, or maybe you're already a member and you want to make an ad gift. There's information on your screen and to tell you how you can become a member. And you're watching WCTE. We've got more coming up.
Awesome.
WCTE's Day of Support is brought to you by Rogers Group, Swallows Insurance, and Cheryl Sandlin.
Over the years, the amazing people of the Upper Cumberland have generously supported our mission at WCTE, and we cannot thank you enough for all you have done to help make what we do for our region possible. If you're not a member of WCTE, you can become one today and join our wonderful family.
I'm Jenny Ivy, and I'm here to talk about why WCTE is important to me. For some of our friends and neighbors, WCTE is the only option when it comes to television, either because they live in remote areas or because they're financially unable to buy TV, or both. But what an option it is, the very best programming for free. But even for those with other options, WCTE is still the best choice. From children's programming to PBS News to series from across the pond, you can watch WCTE and never get bored. My favorite, 2 words: Ken Burns. But I also love our local shows and the nature shows, especially the one where scientists invented robot baby animals with cameras for eyes and let us live in the wild with them. If you can support WCTE in any way, as I do, big or small, please do so today. We have no time to waste.
Like I mentioned at the top of the show, we are going to have a rotating seat over here of all kinds of people. And I just am so excited to have Becky McGurra here with us. Thank you, Becky, for coming in. And I mean, WCT is no stranger to you.
Nope, not at all.
You are very familiar with it.
That's an old show.
Isn't that great?
Wow.
Becky, you were the very first student intern.
Right.
So we've just got a few minutes, but go tell us a little bit about, why WCTE? What made you, because you had an option of leaving and going somewhere else, but you felt very compelled to stay here.
Well, I started, the reason that I wanted to do this was Bruce Anderson. That was, that brings back memories that, I can't tell you how many Christmas parades we did. And that was the one time Bruce filled in for Dr. Walter Derryberry because Walter left to go deliver a baby.
Wow.
But that's what it means to be part of a community. You've got folks who will jump in and be part of your success. There's Cindy Putman and Lee Ray. We were college friends, high school friends. And, we all ended up here doing things together at WCTE. I think I really wanted to work in public broadcasting because I wanted to teach. I have 2 degrees in education, and it is the world's largest classroom. And when I got started here, there's my son Max, who is he's going to be multi-decade in this one. He's 35. He'll be 35 this year, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh.
But he grew up here at WCTE, pulling cable, running camera, doing just all kinds of work, because we're a family. And when people call in and join the station and give an additional gift beyond their regular membership, it really does resonate with the health and the growth of the station. And that's why we've been so successful for over 4 decades here in Nashville, as well as across all the stations in the state. But Avery, you're doing a tremendous job with our team here at WCTE. And doesn't it mean so much? Now that looks like Richard Castle.
I think that is Richard.
Richard was the original general manager here, and that's a film camera. That was not at WCTE. That was actually probably when he worked for the New Hampshire PBS station.
Okay.
And that was the original crew. Look at that young Ralph Welch there in the corner, that skinny guy.
Well, look at that young Becky McGurra right
Look
there.
at that young skinny Becky McGurra. Kirk Thomas. There you see Richard standing in the doorway. And that's Russ Castle. He was one of the sons of Richard and Donna. And that's the first remote truck. Man, y'all pulled out some great photos from the past. That's a blast from the past right there, isn't it, Ralph?
Well, we're celebrating 47 years
I know.
today, which is incredible. And we've been in this community. We've covered ball games, jamborees.
Yes.
We've done academic
The fair.
goals, the fair. And I mean, you started really the auction. The
Yes.
Great TV auction
Yes.
was something that came. But, you know, WCTE and like many other stations across, well, everybody across the state, we've lost our federal funding. And that
Yes.
was one reason we wanted to be on air today, to celebrate our anniversary, but to also let people know that that funding, that baseline funding that we rely on to run the station,
Yep.
to keep our employees paid, to keep local content, keep emergency alerts going, was founded on that federal funding.
That's right.
And now that funding is gone. So we are asking people to become members. You know, if you're already a member, maybe up your membership.
That's
or,
right.
or give an ad gift.
Well,
So-
and I'll say also, you know, people ask me all the time, well, I don't know, which station should I give to? I'm like, well, you absolutely should give to WCTE if you're living in the Upper Cumberland. But I would also say, as a member, a proud member of Nashville PBS, I'm also a proud member of WCTE, because I will tell you, it makes a difference. These local stations in our community are here to serve the community, and you can belong to more than one. But right now, this is your anniversary day, and I intend to give a gift, and I hope you will too.
Thank you, Becky. And I know you work at Nashville PBS now,
Absolutely.
running that, and that's
I
a
do.
great station. And we're so excited to have you all there and be able to partner a lot
Right,
with that.
we
I
are
was on
partnering a lot.
a show with you all just last
Mhm.
week, The Slice of the Community, which is
Yeah.
great. But collaboration and partnership really is what it's all about. And it's what it makes, and what it's going to take for us to continue to serve and build in this space.
You know, it's critical. This is what I want everybody to know. This is an asset that belongs to the Upper Cumberland. It's an asset that belongs to Tennessee. We cannot give a 1 inch of what public media has brought and continues to bring to our region, to our state. And so we need you. You will be the difference in this really difficult moment for us. That federal funding, even though it was a small percentage of the overall budget of the federal government, it was a huge percentage for our stations, and especially right here at WCTE. So your individual dollars mean everything, and you will help us get beyond this really critical and really a moment of crisis.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. So on your screen, you can see how you can give. You can give at WCTE.org. You can call our phone at 931-528-2222, or you can just mail your gift in. We'd be happy to assist any way you can. If you're trying to do a text, though,
yes,
apparently there's a little confusion. You just need to, at the top of the text, there's a little donate, and you just need to click the tab at the top. So hopefully that will help clear up anything. And Becky, thank you for stopping in quickly
my goodness,
and
I'm
being
thrilled.
with us. And, you know, a big shout out to your Nashville family up there.
We love
If
you
they're
in
watching
Nashville PBS and
on-
all the folks in Nashville.
That's right. If they're watching on Dish and Direct, they get
That's
both of
right.
us. So that's a treat for them. You're watching WCTE.
WCTE's Day of Support is brought to you by Rogers Group, Swallows Insurance, and Cheryl Sandlin.
Over the years, the amazing people of the Upper Cumberland have generously supported our mission at WCTE, and we cannot thank you enough for all you have done to help make what we do for our region possible. If you're not a member of WCTE, you can become one today and join our wonderful family.
I'm Jenny Ivy, and I'm here to talk about why WCTE is important to me. For some of our friends and neighbors, WCTE is the only option when it comes to television, either because they live in remote areas or because they're financially unable to buy TV. or both. But what an option it is, the very best programming for free. But even for those with other options, WCTE is still the best choice. From children's programming to PBS News to series from across the pond, you can watch WCTE and never get bored. My favorite, 2 words, Ken Burns. But I also love our local shows and the nature shows, especially the one where scientists invented robot baby animals with cameras for eyes and let us live in the wild with them. If you can support WCTE in any way, as I do, big or small, please do so today. We have no time to waste.
Well, that was Becky McGurra, and I'm Avery Hutchins. And now we have another staple of this community, probably a familiar face to a lot of people, Connie Albright. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, it's always nice to see you. We are celebrating 47 years in the Upper Cumberland, which you have been around a lot for that, 47
Probably
years.
most of it.
Yeah.
We moved here in 76.
Wow. And I bet you were one of those 1982 members.
Probably.
At $25.
Probably were, yes.
I went back through the archives and looked, and we had like 152 members in 1982, and they paid $25
Isn't it amazing?
a year. It is incredible how things have changed. WCTE has been serving this Upper Cumberland with local content, early learning literacy, but we like to celebrate our people here. And Joe was a board member.
Yes.
And your husband.
Yes.
And a voice in this community. And we valued him so much that we named an award after him.
Yes, you did.
And it's the Community Impact Award that we celebrate every year at the annual dinner.
Yes.
Tell me what that means to you.
It's a legacy to Joe, because what we look for in other people that receive the award are the same things that he did day in and day out. He ever thought that everyone should give back to their community, and he did. It was just part of his daily routine. And when we were, Jay and I, my son, when we were informed about the award, we got to select the first recipient. And so we gave it a lot of thought and everything, because we wanted somebody that gave their all to what they were doing, and gave back to the community. They were not paid for anything that they did. And so we tried to select a quality person for that, and we did. And then we got to do it from then on out each year. And we just enjoy it so much, because there's so many people in this community that give back.
And I love it because we do announce it, don't we? We let them know ahead of time.
Most of them we do, except when one was a surprise.
Yes. I wonder who that was.
Yes.
Jay surprised you one year with giving you the award.
He did. He did.
And that was a big surprise.
Oh, I had no clue. I really didn't. And it was just meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
But yes.
Well, I think he was spot on when you describe what the award stands for. You certainly represent that.
Oh, thank you.
And so we celebrate Joe with this award every year, and you pick these recipients, and we are going to see one right now, the award winners from this last year. And do you remember why you picked them, Bobby and Jean?
Both of them have given so much to this community for a long time. They both served as mayors for the city of Cookeville, on the city council, and they have just done so much through their church, through their activities that they do.
Yeah, totally. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yes.
And it was a double. So we're going to watch that video right now.
Okay.
The WCTE Joe Albright Community Impact Award recognizes local people who have a strong record of volunteering their time, resources, and expertise without expecting anything in return, other than helping to make their community a better place. Dad was adamant about giving back to his hometown, and he would be proud to honor others who have done the same at such a high level. Mom and I are very happy to announce that this year's recipient is actually a couple, two of our best, Bobby and Jean Davis.
It seems like everyone in Cookeville knows and loves Bobby and Jean Davis. They are one of our iconic power couples who have touched so many lives and made Cookeville a better place. They are best known for being the only married couple to both serve as mayor for the city of Cookeville. Bobby was one of our youngest mayors ever at age 31, serving 2 terms, and Jean, being our first female mayor, also served as vice mayor and councilman during her 3 terms on the city council. They both spent a lifetime in medicine, helping our citizens stay healthy or to get well. Their list of volunteer activities is too long to tell, but it would be difficult to find another couple who has done more for our community than Bobby and Jean. There was never a doubt that Bobby and Jean always had Cookeville's best interests at heart when making important decisions or when donating their time to volunteer causes. Congratulations, Jean and Bobby, for being the 2025 recipient of the WCTE Joe Albright Community Impact Award.
I don't know about you, Connie, but I just love Jean and Bobby. They are just incredible individuals, and I don't think they've slowed down at all. They just continue to keep giving.
Yes, they do. They do. We could not have done as much in this community without them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important to keep shining a light on these champions? What do you think it does for our community?
I think it encourages others to get out and do things that they might not ordinarily do. And it's just so encouraging to see. And when we start to think about somebody for the next year, there are so many people out there and probably surrounding communities that we haven't even touched.
Yeah, absolutely. And we celebrate this Joe Albright Community Impact Award every year at the annual dinner.
Yes.
And we always have a good selection. We let you guys kind of pick and kind of guide that award. What do you think Joe, if he was here, would say about that award?
He would say, I think he would say that he doesn't do it for the accolades. He doesn't do it for people to talk about or anything. He just does it because he feels like it's part of what he should do.
Yeah. You know, Mr. Rogers was a theme of our dinner this year, and being a good neighbor and celebrating kindness and respect and inclusion with just everybody in the community is so important. And, you know, Mr. Rogers, I mean, he's long gone, but don't we feel like he's still, I still hear his voices sometimes talking about, and now children get to watch Daniel Tiger. And so they
Yes.
still continue to get the impact from Mr. Rogers. But we talked about you moving here in
76.
76. So you're older than WCTE, which we
Yes.
became, we first won the air in 78. And, you know, it's a big deal for our community to have a PBS station. We're the only television broadcast station in the Upper Cumberland in a 75-mile radius.
Yes.
What do you think that means to our community, or what has that meant to you to have a PBS station?
Well, it gives me something to brag about every once in a while, because people, when you tell them that we've got a local PBS station, they're amazed with the size of the community that we live in.
Yeah. We do serve a very rural population. I know Cookeville doesn't seem that rural, but it's not far when you do get into that rural. So we are celebrating 47 years of WCTE being on air today, and we're doing that with a day of support. We're encouraging people to become members, make a gift to WCTE. Your funds go to help support all the great work we do, whether it's local content, live content, like the fair we had this last week,
Yes.
but also local storytelling and preserving that culture. So we'll hope you'll consider making a gift. You've got some information on your screen that will tell you how you can do that. And right now, I think we're going to take a quick break. We've got another guest coming up that I think you just might know. So I hope you'll stay with us. You're watching WCTE.
WCTE PBS needs your help. To keep the programs you love on the air, we must grow our membership by 50%. That means we need your support, your voice, and your belief in what public media brings to our community. Support what matters, watch what matters. Give now at wcte.org/support.
Hello, I'm Faye Watts, and I'm a retired teacher from Putnam County, and I support public television. My family and I have been watching public television now since it began. And as a retired educator from Putnam County, I used all the resources available for education that were to my grade level, all during the time that I taught. But there are lots and lots of good programs available now. And I'm so pleased to be able to say that public television has really, really made a difference in my life. It's the major culture that we receive in this part of the country.
Hello, we're back.
Oh,
Corby.
How are you?
You know,
It's like I just jump right in there. Here we go.
I know, and we are just doing a lot down here at WCTE live in the studio on the square. We're celebrating 47 years
47
of history.
years.
Corby King is with me now. Thank you for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me out here. This is great. Love to come out, support WCTE and our community partners. So yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. Now you have been, you're back to school, right? Are we 2 weeks in?
We're in week 3.
Okay.
Yeah, halfway through week 3. We're just a couple of days out from finishing 3 weeks. It's crazy how fast this time of the year.
Kind of like the way this show is going.
It really,
right?
Yes. Yeah. Everybody just, short segments. I don't know how you're keeping up with all this.
I don't know. We've got great staff.
Great staff, good notes. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's asking, how's it going? I said, I've got really good people that we work with, and that makes the job a lot of fun.
Yeah. So Putnam County Schools was our partner of the year for the annual dinner this year. We always love to celebrate our partners, and you guys were picked for that. And you all have been you've just been with us from day one, I want to say, working with us. And, what does that mean to you to have a PBS station that you can kind of have that inside scoop or that connection with?
We were honored to be selected as partner of the year. That's a big deal for us in the school system. And going way back, the history of the Putnam County School System, WCTE partnership, you look, the Read to Be Ready programs, the PBS Kids, all of the things that happen, for our community that PBS does to support our early learners. We know how important it is for students to come to school ready, prepared to learn how to read. And WCTE does so much work in that realm. And so our students in the community, even though they might not get into daycare, pre-K, things like that we want them to be able to do, but if they're at home, they still have a connection through PBS Kids to pick up some of those early reading skills to help them when they get into kindergarten, first grade. And it's so important, those foundational years.
It is. And we've been talking a little bit about that because in some of our more rural communities, having access to a pre-K, state-funded pre-K program is at a minimum.
There's just not enough.
Yeah.
Even here in Putnam County, we have more resources than our neighbors. And we recognize that just because we're a little larger area, larger county. But we don't have enough pre-K. We don't have enough space, even here in Putnam County, for all of our students. Finding daycare, childcare for families is difficult. It's just crazy expensive. For one, but so many families just can't afford it, can't get their children enrolled. So to have something at home that mom or dad, grandma, grandpa, somebody can help and work with the students. That's really important for them.
Absolutely. And the early learning is critical, and to get those children ready for school is just so vitally important. And to be able to have that right here in the Upper Cumberland is just a win-win. And it's a great partnership.
It's great for us in the Putnam County school system. It is for our neighbors in the surrounding counties in the Upper Cumberland, and all the historical, programs, things that the original programming from WCTE. I love those.
I do too. We saw Shan was in here earlier talking about Wish You Were Here. And
Wish You Were Here, Live Green, Tennessee, the Bluegrass Underground is probably one of my favorites from the caverns. But all of those with the early childhood programs is just great.
It's great to have a local station. And we are celebrating 47 years
47
today in the Upper Cumberland, serving this Upper Cumberland. We are going to show a quick video for Partner of the Year. We want to honor you.
Oh, thanks.
WCTE PBS is proud to honor the Putnam County School System as our Partner of the Year. WCTE's collaboration with the school system began in the early 1980s, and in 2015, a new partnership formed under the leadership of the former Director of Schools, Jerry Boyd. Jerry committed a full-time Putnam County teacher, Cindy Putman, to the role as project manager of the Ready to Learn initiative. And in 2021, Cindy was named the recipient of the National Bobby English Champion for Children Award from Sesame Street Workshop, PBS, and the Corporation of Public Broadcasting. This award recognized Cindy for her leadership for Ready to Learn, which provided enrichment and engagement of children and families in their local communities. The educational partnership continued to flourish under Mr. Corby King, particularly when Dr. Cephas Ablakwa assumed a dual role, dividing his time between WCTE and the Putnam County school system. Since 2020, this collaboration has continually explored innovative ways to enhance the partnerships with a focus on providing exceptional resources and opportunities. Initiatives have included audio-video support in classes at the middle and high school levels, career fairs featuring hands-on learning experiences, back-to-school events, parent workshops, and support for Head Start and early learning resources. WCT has organized family engagement activities that highlight the importance of parents as their child's first teacher. WCTE is dedicated to supporting young children and their families by offering early learning resources and programming, ensuring they are well prepared to be ready to learn in school. WCTE attributes this success to our strong partnership with the Putnam County school system.
You're watching WCTE on our anniversary, 47 years. I'm with Corby King. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
School
Thank you.
superintendent.
Yes.
Putnam County.
Putnam County
Okay.
School Superintendent, Director
Yeah.
of Schools is the official.
Yes.
But yeah, everybody still knows superintendent. It's kind of interchangeable.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
thank you for being here with us.
Yeah.
And we just saw a great video where we celebrated our partnership with Putnam County. And we're actually going to be broadcasting from Nashville on Friday.
Oh, that's
the Tennessee
really
Teacher
cool.
Excellence Awards, just really putting a spotlight on our educators around
It
the
is.
around the whole state of Tennessee.
We have truly amazing educators in the state of Tennessee. I'm biased. I think we have the best here in Putnam
Of
County.
course, yes.
But really amazing educators across the state of Tennessee. So highlighting the Teacher of the Year this year, broadcasting
Mm-hmm.
that. It's a special ceremony for the teachers.
Oh.
Oh yeah, seeing the video again. That was a fun night. We've been blessed the last couple of years. We've had some strong recognition. Miss Tina Francis a couple of years ago, Tennessee State Principal of the Year over at Jerry Whitson. Last year, Miss Tara Brooks at Prescott Middle was the Grand Division for the Middle Tennessee Principal of the Year.
Wow.
This year, we have Dr. Melissa Polk and Dr. Diana Wood, both the principal and supervisor, who have made it to the finalist
Wow.
round of selection. So we hope that they're going to continue that tradition.
That's great.
But it's fun. I'm so happy you guys are there celebrating
Yeah.
and broadcasting, highlighting that ceremony.
Yeah, people will be able to tune in 7:00 Friday night to watch that Excellence Awards, and it's all teachers around the whole Tennessee.
The whole
So
state.
it's
whole
going to be
state.
interesting.
There
It'll be
are
fun.
some really, really amazing
Yeah.
teachers, really impressive teachers that are in.
It's incredible. We couldn't do it. We wouldn't be where we are without our teachers, would
That's
we?
right.
So
That's right. Doesn't
so-
matter what profession you go into, the doctors, the lawyers,
Yeah.
professors, whatever.
Starts with
We
a
all start in
teacher.
the classroom, started with a teacher.
Start
That's
with
right.
teacher.
That's right.
Now, I don't know if people ever ask you any fun questions, but I wanted to know what was the best part about your day.
Oh man, the best part of my day.
And don't say
today-
lunch.
Hey, we did go to All Good Diner today, so that was a good part. No, I was able to go both to All Good Elementary School today and spend some time. I spent some time at Avery Trace Middle School today. Actually got to pop my head in a few classrooms, talk to some teachers, see some kids. That's always a highlight. So that was the best
Yeah.
part of my day today.
To see the kids.
Just seeing the kids, just being
Mhm.
out. Everybody's still smiling. Still learning, really engaged in the work and what the teachers were
Mhm.
doing in the classroom. So that was the best part of my day today.
That is great.
Yeah.
So my child, who is a Putnam County High School, Cookeville High School
High School,
graduate. I
yes.
can't believe it. She's leaving tomorrow to go to Austin P and start her freshman year, which
Oh,
is
it's exciting.
exciting. But she's had the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? And what do we want to be when we grow up? But what did you want to be when you grew up?
So the reason I'm here in Cookeville, I came to Tech, like I think a whole lot of people, to be an engineer.
Okay.
I think when I go back, high school, I was like, lawyer. That was a big one. I argue
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong there. But I got to Tech, and I did really well math, science in high school, and the counselors talking to them said, hey, Tennessee Tech engineering, this is a great program. Had some friends coming up here. So I did. And then I
Yeah.
got here and it's like, wait, my brain does not work this way.
Mhm.
And the engineering professors
Yeah.
were glad I changed majors.
Wow. They're
And so
like,
at that point, I was too far in to go back to law school. I changed to education and I've never looked back.
Never
I've
looked
loved it. Went to secondary education history so I
Mhm.
could get a little bit of the history, legal stuff
Yeah.
kind of in,
Yeah.
some pre-law things. But I absolutely loved it
Yeah.
and had a great career and encourage, some of our students still. Look at education. It's been, for
Mhm.
my wife and I, my wife's a teacher as well. For us and our kids coming through the school system, it's been a blessing for
It
us.
has been, and I just want to give one more shout out to all the teachers in Tennessee,
Absolutely.
especially the Upper Cumberland
Yes.
and in Putnam County. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Yes, thank
you for
you.
educating our children.
Hey, thanks for having us here.
Yeah.
That's it really is. It's the best part. It's a blessing for all of us.
Thank
We
you.
love serving. We love partnering with WCTE and all of our community partners. So thanks for having us
Yeah.
here and highlighting the teachers and educators.
Awesome. Very good.
Thanks.
Thank you. And thank you for
Thank you.
tuning in right now. We are celebrating 47 years, and we are asking you to make a gift today or become a member. And you can do that. There's some information on your screen. You can visit WCTE.org, or you can even call in. That phone number and everything is there on the screen.
Right.
So we've got more coming up. You're watching WCTE.
Right. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Atlee. And I'm Isabella, and we have been friends since the first grade. And one thing we like to do as sleepovers is watch PBS Kids. Some of the shows that we like to watch together are Wildcrats and Sesame Street. So, that's why it's very important to support WCTE, so future generations can enjoy PBS Kids like we did.
Over the years, the amazing people of the Upper Cumberland have generously supported our mission at WCTE, and we cannot thank you enough for all you have done to help make what we do for our region possible. If you're not a member of WCTE, you can become one today and join our wonderful family.
WCTE PBS needs your help. To keep the programs you love on the air, we must grow our membership by 50%. That means we need your support, your voice, and your belief in what public media brings to our community. Support what matters, watch what matters. Give now at wcte.org/support.
Lots of familiar faces on WCTE today, and this is no stranger to the Upper Cumberland. Welcome, Mark Farley.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, you're familiar with the Upper Cumberland, just a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. Here, hold that mic up. There you go.
Okay.
So we can hear you.
All right.
And the last couple of years, we've been working on a really fun project called Empower the Upper Cumberland. Tell our viewers just a little bit about that project.
We had the opportunity to go after a pilot program that the state of Tennessee offered back about 2.5 years ago. It allowed us an opportunity to form a collaborative group and to receive a very large grant sum, around $25 million, which was one of the largest awards the state has ever given. And we've been very excited about that because that's allowed us to tackle how do you help these young working families, the ones that's facing barriers like childcare, housing, and trying to move up the economic ladder. And we've been very excited to be in partnership, and WCTE has been an awesome partner to have at the table.
Thank you. And that is it was a 3-year, but now we're kind of looking at maybe 4-year project. Yep. And how many families have you worked with?
We're around 750 families that we've enrolled and been working through. We've started graduating families out, which has been very exciting. We've had the first batch was about 10% of that population. They've gone through the system, and we've seen some fabulous results. We've seen their income increase almost $2.4 million in less than 2 years. And that's very exciting because that has a true impact on them and on our economy, but it's also a generational change. And it's great to be able to see that happen.
Yes, and WCTE has been hosting the family engagement workshops, and you saw a little clip just a few minutes ago on some of those workshops, and that's where we actually work with the parent and the child in a learning environment. So often our parents or our caregivers are our first teachers, and this gives them kind of a little bit of a not a training, but kind of gives them some tools to work with when they're trying to, and when a strong family is together, that only can help them in the long run.
It's exciting watching families sitting in the floor, working on projects and learning together. That's always exciting.
Yeah. And 14 counties. I mean, that's a large area to cover, and you're getting close to seven plus in there. What would you say would be the ultimate success? Like if you could say, I know we've made it when this happens, do you have like a goal in mind?
I feel like we're almost there. We're able to see movement. Even our families that's not graduated yet, we're seeing them improve their economic status. They're moving up that ladder. they're stronger, they're more confident. You see them taking chances that they've never taken before. And, you may not be able to put a number on it, but when you see them in action, you see and you talk to them, man, you realize you're creating some generational change.
Yeah. And they talk a lot about that.
Oh,
and
yes.
educating them. What would you say why is this so important to the Upper Cumberland to make these changes? I mean, obvious reasons, but why is it so important that we make this leap into this?
Yeah, the Upper Cumberland, we're unique, sitting between Nashville, Knoxville, and Chattanooga. We're in what has traditionally been the Appalachian region, so we've always somewhat been behind the rest of the nation. So this is an opportunity for us to catch our citizens up, to get them up to where maybe the rest of the country has already gotten to. So I think it's very important, not just for today and the people that we're working with, but hopefully we're creating systems that will live beyond and continue helping families for generations to come.
That's fantastic. Well, I think we're going to watch a little video here at Megan, one of your coworkers, employees. They talked a little bit about the Empower. So stay with us.
Working with WCTE has given me the chance to see firsthand how media can be used as a tool for real change. Whether it's through early childhood education, workshops, or storytelling, WCTE creates opportunities for people to learn and grow in ways that go far beyond what's on the screen. For me, it has reinforced the power of connection, how bringing people together around shared stories and experiences can really make a difference. The Empower program and Ready to Learn workshops are doing something really special. They're giving people, especially parents and caregivers, the confidence and tools to be leaders in their own communities. I've seen participants realize their own strengths, gain skills they didn't know they needed, and connect with others in ways that are truly meaningful. It's about more than just education. It's about empowerment. When people feel heard and supported, they can turn around and do the same for others. And that kind of impact spreads far beyond just one program.
I just think Megan does such a nice job. She was kind of the lead on this project.
Yeah, she's been the brains behind the operations from day one. We've been very excited to see how she has grown this program over the last few years.
Yeah, it's tremendous. And, every project comes with some challenges, some wins and some challenges. I didn't know if there was maybe a challenge that you've really been able to overcome that comes to mind.
Not a specific one, one that we realize. I don't think we've truly understood what a lot of these families go through, the struggles they have on a day-to-day basis. They all want to have a better life. They want their kids to have a better life. But unfortunately, there are some barriers that bureaucratic process has been put in place that really holds them back. And it gets very frustrating when you can't change rules. And, if you could only change a few things, their lives could change forever.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Oh, yeah.
And when you see it firsthand, I think that really is powerful. And WCTE, I mean, that's why we're in these homes. That's why we're free over the air, free access. We're offering early learning tools with PBS Kids Learning Media, but we like to be considered a lifelong learner. People can continue to watch. I've heard people tell me I learned how to speak English watching PBS, or, it was my first classroom. PBS was my first classroom. Or I hear from people that talk about, I can't travel, but I get to travel when I watch WCTE, and it gives them an opportunity to experience things they may not ever get to experience. And having WCTE here in the Upper Cumberland, I mean, I can say it all day long, but it's a jewel and it's a rarity. I mean, we sometimes take for granted the things that are closest to us. But
you're absolutely correct. I couldn't imagine what the Upper Cumberland would be without WCTE.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess it would just be, we just have a lot of Nashville or Knoxville or some of those others. Nothing wrong with that, but it is nice to kind of have our own local content to be able to broadcast, be able to turn it on and see it there. So we're celebrating 47 years, guys. We are doing that with a day of support, and we are asking people to become members. We have a membership goal of increasing our members, doubling our membership in this next year. And we want to do that to help fund all the great things that we do to support this Upper Cumberland. We are a community licensee. We are owned by you, the community, by you, Mark Farley, and by our other guests that have been here, and you, the viewers at home. So do consider making a gift or becoming a member today. You're watching WCTE.
Now, Mr. Rogers is certainly one of the best things that's ever happened to public television, and his Peabody Award is testament to that fact. We in public television are proud of Fred Rogers, and I'm proud to present Mr. Rogers to you now.
All right, Rogers, you got the floor.
Senator Pastore, this is a philosophical statement and would take about 10 minutes to read, so I'll not do that. One of the first things that a child learns in a healthy family is trust, and I trust what you have said that you will read this. It's very important to me. I care deeply about children. My first children...
Will it make you happy if you read it?
I'd just like to talk about it, if it's all right.
Sir. Okay.
My first children's program was on WQED 15 years ago, and its budget was $30. Now, with the help of the Sears Roebuck Foundation and National Educational Television, as well as all of the affiliated stations, each station pays to show our program. It's a unique kind of funding in educational television. With this help, now our program has a budget of $6,000. It may sound like quite a difference, but $6,000 pays for less than 2 minutes of cartoons, 2 minutes of animated, what I sometimes say, bombardment. I'm very much concerned, as I know you are, about what's being delivered to our children in this country. And I've worked in the field of child development for 6 years now, trying to understand the inner needs of children. We deal with such things as the inner drama of childhood. We don't have to bop somebody over the head to make him to make drama on the screen. We deal with such things as getting a haircut, or the feelings about brothers and sisters, and the kind of anger that arises in simple family situations. And we speak to it constructively.
How long a program is it?
It's a half hour every day. Most channels schedule it in the noontime as well as in the evening. WETA here has scheduled it in the late afternoon.
Could we get a copy of this so that we can see it? Maybe not today, but I'd like to see the program.
I'd like very much for you
I'd like to see the program itself, or any one of them, you see.
We made 100 programs for EEN, the Eastern Educational Network, and then when the money ran out, people in Boston and Pittsburgh and Chicago all came to the fore and said, we've got to have more of this neighborhood expression of care. And this is what I give. I give an expression of care every day to each child to help him realize that he is unique. I end the program by saying, you've made this day a special day by just your being you. There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are. And I feel that if we in public television can only make it clear that feelings are mentionable and manageable, we will have done a great service for mental health. I think that it's much more dramatic that two men could be working out their feelings of anger, much more dramatic than showing something of gunfire. I'm constantly concerned about what our children are seeing. And for 15 years, I have tried in this country and Canada to present what I feel is a meaningful expression of care.
Do you narrate it?
I'm the host, yes. And I do all the puppets, and I write all the music, and I write all the scripts.
Well, I'm supposed to be a pretty tough guy, and this is the first time I've had goosebumps for the last 2 days.
Well, I'm grateful not only for your goosebumps, but for your interest in our kind of communication. Could I tell you the words of one of the songs which I feel is very important?
Yes.
This has to do with that good feeling of control, which I feel that the children need to know is there. And it starts out, what do you do with the mad that you feel? And that first line came straight from a child. I work with children, doing puppets in very personal communication with small groups. What do you do with the mad that you feel? When you feel so mad you could bite. When the whole wide world seems oh so wrong, and nothing you do seems very right. What do you do? Do you punch a bag? Do you pound some clay or some dough? Do you round up friends for a game of tag or see how fast you go? It's great to be able to stop when you've planned a thing that's wrong and be able to do something else instead and think this song. I can stop when I want to, can stop when I wish, can stop, stop, stop anytime. And what a good feeling to feel like this and know that the feeling is really mine. Know that there's something deep inside that helps us become what we can. For a girl can be someday a lady, and a boy can be someday a man.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Looks like you just earned the $20 million.
WCTE PBS is facing one of the biggest challenges in our 48-year history. To keep the programs you love on the air, to local stories and PBS Kids, we must grow our membership by 50%. That's a big goal, and we can't reach it without you. If you watch WCTE, if you believe in the power of storytelling, education, and trusted news, now's the time to stand with us. Support what matters, watch what matters. Become a member today at wcte.org/support.
You are watching WCTE's Day of Support. We're celebrating 47 years on the air. We're going to be with you for the next hour, and then we're going to take a quick break, go to PBS NewsHour, and then we'll be back at 7 o'clock. We're just excited to be here, and I've got a new guest with me, Dr. Cephas Abwakwa, Director of Education. Thank you for being with us.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, Cephas is the Director of Education for WCTE, and he also works with Putnam County Schools, so that kind of dual role that you have there. And we just met with Corby King, and you know, it's just such a great partnership we have with them.
It is with the work that we do in the classrooms and the work that we do all over the Upper Cumberland. It's not just in Putnam County.
Yeah, that's what Corby said. He said, you know, Putnam County is lucky. We got a little more resources, but as you get further out, it becomes a little less. But WCT, we reach in all 14 counties. We're free over the air. And I know we've got a lot of fans out there, and I know you all are watching because we are starting to see the donations coming in.
That's right.
And we had a lofty goal of 30,000 today, and I think we're gonna bust it.
We are gonna bust it.
Yeah.
We are chipping at it little by little,
Yeah.
1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, but we will make it.
I think we're already like over 25,000 in there, but we still need your support. So don't let that hold you back from giving your gift or becoming a member today, because WCTE, we rely on those private donations and that local support to do the great work that we do, do the local content, to have great employees, to bring local programs, to have PBS Kids. It's so vitally important.
And I know you had Mark Farley on just a second ago, and their group, we partner with them on the Empower Initiative.
That's right.
We do a lot of work through that. Yeah. We're in all 14 counties. We have an Astia that oversees that. We do the Ready to Learn, and it's free for all the kids on the Upper Cumberland region in all 14 counties.
Yes, that Empower program has been really great. And Venestia, like you mentioned, is a team member of ours, and she's been working now 3 years with those families. And I think, you know, there's some tremendous testimonials that come out of that.
Absolutely. Those kids are excited to come to our Ready to Learn programs, and some of them don't have another avenue to go to, or any other, they might not be in the preschool or anything. So our efforts in partnership with Empower, Mark Farley's group, UCDD, it's a tremendous work. It's a tremendous work in all 14 counties.
And building that unit, that family unit for strength and based on education and learning is critical. You know, our learning goes beyond the television, because September the 6th, we're going to be celebrating Stations of Imagination on the Square. That's your department too?
That's right. Stations of Imagination has been around forever. And this year it is going to be one of the biggest ones we've ever had. So come on out. Lila is going to be here. I'm excited about that. My kids are excited about seeing Lila in person. And those kids will be able to take pictures with Lila and just have a good time.
Yeah. So that's on the Square in
That is on the
Cookeville,
Square.
and it's free. It's free to all families. Anybody that wants to come out. It's part of the Fall Fun Fest. We're on Saturday from 10 to 5. And Lila in the Loop. Where else do you get to meet Lila in the Loop?
Nowhere else.
Nowhere else, but right here.
Right here. That's right.
And each booth, you're going to have somewhere around 20 booths, I guess, that will have fun activities, fun family-friendly activities. And it seems like Station's been going on. I think we are approaching 30 years of doing that activity.
And while we're at it, I do want to thank all our partners and sponsors for Stations, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do.
That is right. It's an incredible. We've talked about partnerships, and Putnam County School was our partner of the year, but WCT would not be in this community or be able to do what we do without our partners.
That's
It's
right.
incredible.
Yes. And this year, I think we're up to 16 partners so far for Stations, and more to come. I think I just spoke to another one today.
Great.
So without it, we can't do the work that we do.
That's right. So they come out, do an activity, greet and help volunteer with the kids. Our sponsors help cover our costs, but also give them great brand exposure to the visitors.
And we assume that everyone at home knows what Stations is, but in case you're new to the community, Stations, you can come, bring your kiddos, come out. There'll be different tents that has activities, and those activities are kid friendly. They're fun, and you can go around to each booth and just enjoy and have fun, take pictures, and then
build
walk
those
over,
memories.
build those memories. Walk over. The adults walk over to Fall Fun Fest. Come back to Stations and enjoy and have a great time.
It's kind of the kickoff to fall. As I always think of it as being the kickoff to fall. But we are raising funds here today, CFIS, for WCTE, and we're like I said, we've already we're reaching that goal, and I feel like we're already going to just hit it, blow it out of the water, which is fantastic. But just wanted to recognize a couple of people that have made some gifts. Of course, Swallows Insurance, Rogers Group, Cheryl Sandlin. Thank you for that support. We also have, we want to thank Jim and Jenny and Martin and Westlake Family Fund, which was a gift out of the Community Foundation. Barbara and George, Diane, Laura, Barry, Wayne, the list just goes on. Henry Fincher, Brian O'Connor, who's going to be in here a little bit later. It's just incredible. And it's overwhelmingly emotional for me when I see our community come out in support of WCTE the way they have, CFIS. People, we are federally funded, but after what happened in July, we are no longer federally funded. So we are now relying on this private donations in support of our community. So thank you for tuning in. We've got another exciting interview coming up that you're just going to not want to miss. So just hang in there with us. You're watching WCTE.
Did have PBS, and that changed everything. Arthur taught me about the magic of having a library card, which fostered my lifelong love of learning. Mr. Rogers showed me how to be a good neighbor and shaped my passion for community service. And Wishbone brought classic books to life and set me on the path to becoming a professional writer. WCTE doesn't just nurture young minds, they create bright futures. They also keep our communities connected through education and cultural programming, plus critical emergency alerts. Joining is one way for me to take a stand and live out my values. And there's a bonus. Give at least $5 per month to unlock the Passport app with nature documentaries, original Julia Child episodes, and so much more. Join today at WCTE.org to protect the future of news, education, and storytelling for generations.
Welcome back. I'm Cephas Ablakwa. I'll be taking over for Avery, and we have a wonderful guest with us, Miss Cindy Putman.
Oh, hey, Cephas. I love what you and Avery said. I'm so glad that WCT is slowly but surely reaching that goal.
That's right. That's right. And I don't know if you heard, we talked a little bit about the work we're doing with Empower, which involves Ready to Learn.
I did hear that.
Yes, and you're the queen of Ready to Learn.
Oh, well, thank
So
you.
we'll circle back to that here in a minute. But I want to start to just introduce you. I can't imagine anyone at home not knowing who Cindy Putman is if they have little kids or even adults, because you've taught in the school system and you've had everybody. And so I do want you to tell us just a little bit about yourself before we dive into it.
I always like to tell people I'm a native Cookvillian, and I have been part of the Putnam County school system for 32 years. And I just recently retired, but I'm still working with Best Groups, Be Each Other Support Team, a partnership that we have with the Grief and Loss Center here in Cookville. So I love WCTE. I love getting to work with kids, and I love seeing the kids that I started working with when they were little grow up into adults.
Yes. Now tell us a little bit about the social emotional side of things, because you were in the classroom for a little while and then you switched over. And tell about the recent work you've been doing.
Well, the recent work that I've been doing is I've been working with kids out of student services for Putnam County schools, because we realize that the social emotional aspect is so vitally important. If a child knows how to self-regulate and they understand how to name and share their emotions, it really is a prevention for a lot of things in their life. So we really work hard at helping kids just do simple things to self-regulate. No one does it better than Daniel Tiger. Daniel Tiger does an incredible job with that with our little learners, and then we see it throughout all of our PBS Kids programs, where we're teaching kids to be resilient. We're teaching kids to work hard and to keep on trying, and there is no such thing as failure. You just have to get back up and do it again. And I think that's one of the things that's so important about the PBS Kids programs, is that they really do focus on age appropriate knowledge that children need, and children can watch that and then they can react and they can act that out in their own situations.
So how important is that? Like, I just have a 3-year-old that just started preschool, and I've got one in first grade and both at Jerry Whitson. And so the social emotional part of it that PBS brings to Daniel Tiger, and the work through how that relates to Ready to Learn. Tell us about what it really means to be ready to learn.
To be ready to learn means that a child is ready to go to school, that they can, and even though it's hard at first, that they can separate from their parent or from their caregiver, that they can focus. And one of the things I like to tell people is take your child's age, and so add a minute to it and subtract a minute from it. So you have a son who is 3. So I would say anywhere between 5 minutes to 4 minutes should be a good time for him to be able to sit and really focus on an activity, to be able to find their own shoes, to be able to realize their own space. And that's really hard for kids, because when you're little, and for some adults we know, the world is all about them. And so it's really hard to think, oh, I'm in Cephas's way today, or I've said this to the teacher and I reacted to something. So we really want to teach kids how to regulate their own emotions, their own reactions to things. And that's what Ready to Learn did through all the great PBS programs that were created with Ready to Learn.
So we'll be taking a break here shortly, but when we come back, I do want to hear how you and our community, Cookville, took part in the building of Ready to Learn in the season that you spent over at WCT, building that whole program. And some maybe awards that were won. We can talk about that.
Some awards.
So we'll be here. We'll be back shortly, and when we come back with Cindy Putnam to talk more about Ready to Learn and WCTE.
Over the years, the amazing people of the Upper Cumberland have generously supported our mission at WCTE, and we cannot thank you enough for all you have done to help make what we do for our region possible. If you're not a member of WCTE, you can become one today and join our wonderful family.
My name is Luca and I'm 8 years old. This is my baby sister Avery and she is 3 years old.
Oh, you have so many.
Oh, he moves.
Every morning we watch WCTE PBS and we love to watch Sesame Street, don't we? What's your favorite part of Sesame Street? Do you like when Elmo's on?
I like watching Warcraft. I love fly on the roof. I like Warcraft because you can learn about animals. But I want cookie.
Yes. Nom, nom. Do you like to watch Cookie Monster? What does Cookie Monster do? Nom.
I love Elmo and I love Sesame Street. I love PBS Kids.
We're back with Cindy Putman, and before we left, we were just talking about Ready to Learn and the work that you did. I do want our community to know what part they played, and our community, and especially you leading the way, played in Ready to Learn, because Ready to Learn is national, right? So how did we play a part in it?
Ready to Learn was a national grant that we got, and we were one of 12 PBS stations across the whole PBS family across the United States that got one of those grants. So they would send us their materials that they were working on when they were creating new PBS Kids programs, such as Molly of Denali.
Right.
That was one of the programs that we worked on. And they would send it to us, and then we would do family community learning workshops where the family and the community would come together. We would make sure that the parents and the children had a really healthy meal. It was after school, so it was 5 or 4 days in a row, and then we'd have a celebration sometimes on that 5th day. But the parents would come and we would test the materials. And then at the end of that, all the co-facilitators that helped me, we would sit down and we would evaluate everything. And we would say, this is too easy, this is too hard, this didn't take enough time, we needed more time for this. And we would send it all back to PBS. And then they created these wonderful family creative learning workshops that are being modeled all over the United States today. And I know that's something that you all are doing a lot of, and we're doing that with Empower.
Yes.
And that was written into the Empower grant with UCDD and UCHRA to make sure that those families, because one of the things that WCTE knows is a parent is a child's first teacher.
Yes.
So if a parent can really understand, and so many of our parents are so busy, Cephas, and I understand that you've worked all day and you come home and you're exhausted and there's baths and bed and you're trying to read for 20 minutes with your child and check their homework and all those things. But if we can give them just little tidbits that they can do when you're cooking dinner, count the number of people that are going to be at the dinner table, and then let's count the number of plates, and let's count the number of spoons, and let's count the number of chairs, and let's talk about what color the plates are, and do you want your brother to have the blue plate, and do you want daddy to have the yellow plate? We just want parents to understand that it's the common everyday language that we have with our kids that really makes them learn. Their little brains are like sponges. And so we would do all of that. We would work with those families, and it was a wonderful experience. I did that from 2015 to 2020 as a partnership with Putnam County Schools, the same role in what you are doing now, except your role looks different than the role that I did. But it was a great partnership, and I appreciate Corby King and everyone at Putnam County Schools for working so hard to keep that partnership going.
And that's my favorite part about the whole thing about Ready to Learn, is the part that you spoke about concerning that these things are not costly.
No.
There's stuff that you can do at home. Just counting the amount of people that are going to be at the dinner table, counting the plates. What color is the plate? What color, those
sorting laundry.
Yes.
Where do the socks go?
Yes.
Where do the washcloths go?
And so we just have about 30 seconds here. Could you just briefly tell us, for parents that don't have the resources, how great of resource, or how many resources that WCTE provides for
You
them?
can go on PBS Learning Media Parents, and every resource that we created for Ready to Learn is there. It's completely free, and all the great PBS Kids programs have the PBS Kids apps that go with those. It's a safe place for your child to watch, and I'm very aware of how we don't want kids to have a lot of time on screen right now, but PBS, everything that your child is going to watch is going to be educational and geared toward their specific age group. And you can even go on and look for specific age groups and specific shows that you want them to watch. And it's important to me because I now have two beautiful granddaughters, Ellie and Millie, who are just starting out in their little lives, and they were born being PBS kids.
Well, Cindy Putman, thank you. It's always a pleasure. And thank you for all the years of teaching and service that you've done in this community. You truly are a gem for our community. Thank you so much for being here.
So much.
We'll be right back.
For
48 years, WCTE PBS has been your trusted source for local stories, emergency alerts, and free educational programs for children. Now, a $1 million federal funding cut puts it all at risk. Your gifts keep WCTE strong and on the air. Donate now at wcte.org/support.
WCTE's Day of Support is brought to you by Rogers Group, Swallows Insurance, and Cheryl Sandlin.
WCTE PBS is facing one of the biggest challenges in our 48-year history. To keep the programs you love on the air, to local stories and PBS Kids, we must grow our membership by 50%. That's a big goal, and we can't reach it without you. If you watch WCTE, if you believe in the power of storytelling, education, and trusted news, now's the time to stand with us. Support what matters, watch what matters. Become a member today at wcte.org/support.
I wake up every morning with a smile on my face. I'm proud to be a member of the human race. Hey y'all, my name is Cherokee Upton and I'm from Salina, Tennessee. Thank you so much for having me. I was asked today to talk a little bit about what PBS meant to me growing up, and honestly, it meant a whole lot. I was homeschooled for 6 years in Salina, and during that time, PBS Kids was a huge part of my world. At my mom and papa's house, it was the only cartoon channel that we were allowed to watch because it was educational, and I thank God for that. What would we have done without Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood reruns, Teletubbies, The Magic School Bus, Wild Kratts, Clifford the Big Red Dog, Word Girl, and so many other shows that helped shape our childhood. They didn't just teach reading and science, they taught life lessons. They taught kindness, creativity, and the power of being yourself. PBS wasn't just a channel, it was a lifeline for kids like me, especially in small towns all over America. It gave us all an equal chance to learn, to imagine, even when we didn't have much else. And I've got a lot of love for WCTE, and it's a station that represents us, our towns, our artists, our farms, our music, our stories, all things local. It's a rare and beautiful thing to have a local media that truly cares about our community. WCTE and PBS can no longer continue to do what they're doing without your support. They rely on donations and local involvement to keep going and to keep reaching the next generation of children. Having access to local news and educational program matters, now more than ever. I miss the PBS that raised America, and I want to do my part to help keep it alive for the kids growing up today. Thank you. You love me too. Well, I love you three, and it's a honeysuckle day in Tennessee. It's a honeysuckle day in Tennessee.
Welcome back. Cephas Blanco here again. I'm here with Susan Luna Hazelwood.
Yes, yes.
It's so good to
Hi.
see you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be back in the WCTE studio.
Yes, it's good to see you. It's
Thank
been
you.
a little
Thank
while.
you. Yes.
How are things going down in your neck of the woods?
Things are going well. Yes, my family is doing well. My job is going well. So yeah.
And you have been associated with your
Yes.
family, at least, have been
Yes.
associated with WCT for a while. Now.
Yes,
Can
my
you tell
family
us a little bit
has-
about that?
Yes, my family has been involved for a long time. My father, when I was a child, I grew up hearing about WCTE and working the auction and being one of the runners while my dad was doing the boards. And then I later had the opportunity to work for WCTE for a little while, and it was a fantastic experience. So yeah, our family we're in.
But now you're in a new chapter. There's a little girl named Ellie.
Yes.
Tell us about Ellie.
I have a wonderful little girl named Ellie. She has just learned to roll her eyes, which has been a new adventure. She does get that honest from all of the Lunas. We're really big eye rollers. But that is, oh yes, there's my beautiful daughter, Ellie, and my husband, Mike. He's okay too. And she is going to turn 6 this week.
Already.
Yes, which is very exciting. And she just started kindergarten. So, and she is having a great time.
Where is she at school?
She's at Capshaw.
Capshaw.
Mhm.
Good school.
Yes.
Good school.
Yes, I'm a Capshaw alumni, so I'm glad to be able to pass on
Continuing the
legacy.
tradition,
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So, could you just expound on Ellie a little bit? There was
Yes.
some connection with Daniel Tiger.
Absolutely. So just to start at the very beginning of our relationship with Daniel Tiger, In late 2022, Ellie, my daughter, who was 3 at the time, was diagnosed with cancer. She was diagnosed with stage 4 high-risk neuroblastoma. And during the next 15 months, she was in intense treatment that included chemotherapies and radiation and several surgeries, immunotherapy, and a stem cell transplant. Before her diagnosis, Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood was already her favorite show, but it became so much more to her and to our family. It became a source of joy for her and a source of comfort in the hospital and a distraction. She would have her iPad during her CT scans and would play Daniel Tiger to kind of get her mind off of what was actually happening to her. And several of her nurses, she was gifted a stuffed Daniel Tiger the first week she was in the hospital. And her nurses put a play medical equipment on Daniel, a play portacath and an NG tube through his nose, so that Daniel then matched Ellie's tubies, what she called them, and she was able to use medical play on Daniel Tiger to learn more about what she was going through. So it was a really great resource to have not only the Daniel Tiger show that she could watch, but also to be able to learn about using Daniel Tiger. And then a few months ago, the incredible people at WCTE gave her the opportunity to meet Daniel Tiger in person, which was a great experience for her. And just the fact that I got to watch her smile so big and run up to Daniel Tiger and give him a hug was incredible for me and for her, and gave her the opportunity to reflect a little bit, as much as you could reflect from being a 3 to 6 year old, but a lot changes in those 3 years, and being able to take her experience with Daniel Tiger then, and it is now, Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood has been a big part of our life. Yes.
Well, we just had Cindy Putman on here.
And yes.
Her role in Putnam County Schools is she's in charge or deals with social emotional curriculum. And what you're talking about fits right into that.
Absolutely.
And Daniel Tiger is wonderful for that.
Yes.
I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old as well. And we're working right now on when you feel so mad that you want to roar. And, sometimes I'm like, I need to take a deep breath and come to for myself,
Absolutely.
And so it's a wonderful tool for everything. But this is a little, more than I'm sure the creators of Daniel Tiger ever thought that was just going to happen.
And we have the app. There's a Daniel Tiger app with just the songs that Ellie has. I have on my phone, and my husband has on his phone, and she knows which songs that will help her in that. I mean, she has a maturity for being a 6-year-old because she's been through a lot, but the Getting Mad song, Take a Deep Breath, is a repeat for sure. But I haven't thought about the songs in a while in addition to the show itself. Yeah.
And so to broaden it just a little bit, what are some of the importance of some of these things? I know you've shown up how important it is to you and your family, but just speaking overall, I know we're talking about the WCTE, but these shows and the extra things that they provide, could you talk just a little bit about that?
Yeah, in addition to Daniel Tiger, which first off, we were back and forth in Cookeville and Nashville, and we were able to access WCTE both places, which was fantastic in addition to NPT in Nashville. But WCTE was on her iPad, and that's what we were able to use. But we actually talked to other people that there's a career called a child life specialist in hospitals, and their job is to help with the emotional aspect of children going through this. And when we immediately told them that Daniel Tiger was what she needed right then to help comfort her, then they started looking into and researching how Daniel Tiger and how other shows and other initiatives that PBS can provide can be used to help children. And we do have a very specific example because she was in treatment for cancer, but to help children go through difficult situations, both physically, emotionally, mentally, help them not only deal with those situations, but we considered the characters on Daniel Tiger her friends, and she could relate to them, even though they weren't going through treatment. They were going through difficult things, and being able to talk about her friends on Daniel Tiger, and it was helpful. And I think that kids being able, and I am not an educator, so I don't know all the research, all of that, but just going through this with her, being able to make those links between what children need and can utilize, and the forms of media that can help. It's incredible.
What do you think her next character is? Is she's still in love with Daniel Tiger,
She
or have we
is-
adapted some other ones?
She is still in love with Daniel Tiger, but I have to say it has been surpassed as her favorite because she is getting a little bit older. Her recent favorites, let's see, she's really into Wild Kratts. And her cousin Oscar is also a really big Wild Kratts fan. So they've been bonding over that a little bit. And they go on all kinds of adventures. And so a little bit compared to Daniel Tiger, they deal with situations, and Wild Kratts is more about going out and exploring and having adventures
That's
and
right.
learning.
That's
And that's exactly what she needs right now.
Well, Wild Kratts is also a favorite at my house.
Yeah.
I mean, we're constantly watching, and I've learned about animals that I didn't even know about. And some of
absolutely.
the things they do. I think we got about 30 seconds, but
Okay.
I am going to surprise you a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I know you are all about fundraiser and, raising funds.
Yes, but I don't love surprises.
Well, that is a surprise. Just tell us a little bit about the importance of supporting your local PBS.
Absolutely. Well, yes, as you mentioned, I am a fundraiser, so I love talking about raising money, one of those strange people that loves talking about it. But raising money, fundraising, supporting the organizations you love, especially WCTE PBS, it's incredibly important for many, many reasons. But we wouldn't have access. Ellie would not have had access to Daniel Tiger as easily if it were not for WCTE PBS and the people who donate, the members, the people who sponsor. You're enabling children to have these experiences because of your support. So it is incredibly important.
Well, we're so glad Ellie's doing better.
Yes, she's
and we're
doing
so
great.
thankful for you to be here. Thank you so much, and we'll be right back.
WCTE PBS is facing one of the biggest challenges in our 48-year history. To keep the programs you love on the air, to local stories and PBS Kids, we must grow our membership by 50%. That's a big goal, and we can't reach it without you. If you watch WCTE, if you believe in the power of storytelling, education, and trusted news, now's the time to stand with us. Support what matters, watch what matters. Become a member today at wcte.org/support.
Over the years, the amazing people of the Upper Cumberland have generously supported our mission at WCTE, and we cannot thank you enough for all you have done to help make what we do for our region possible. If you're not a member of WCTE, you can become one today and join our wonderful family.
My name is Luca and I'm 8 years old. This is my baby sister Avery and she is 3 years old.
Oh, you have so many.
Oh, he moves.
Every morning we watch WCTE PBS and we love to watch Sesame Street, don't we? What's your favorite part of Sesame Street? Do you like when Elmo's on? Elmo? Oh, wow.
I like watching Warcraft. I love fly on the roof. I like Warcraft because you can learn about animals. But I want cookie.
Yes. Nom, nom. Do you like to watch Cookie Monster? What does Cookie Monster do? Nom.
I love Elmo and I love Sesame Street. I love PBS Kids.
Welcome back. I've got Avery back here with some updates.
Yeah, I know. We're celebrating Day of Support today, CFIS. 47 years of service in the Upper Cumberland, being on air, free over the air. And we've grown a lot since 1978. And there's lots of ways people can watch and lots of ways people can give and lots of ways that we contribute and support this community. But it is just incredible.
Right.
I mean, how much we've changed. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody that has made a gift today, become a member. I want to say we've already exceeded our $30,000 goal, but that shouldn't keep you from giving. We just received a really nice, generous gift of $15,000.
WCTE's Day of Support is brought to you
really gonna
by
help WCTE
Rogers
and all the work that we do.
Swallows Insurance,
and with the loss of
and
federal funding,
Cheryl
this
Sandlin.
funding is more important than ever.
Yes. I mean, this is great that we've had people on talking about things. But what I'm thinking about is 47 years. Think of all the changes we've gone through. We've gone through cassette tapes,
Yeah.
VCR, right?
Yes.
As an education person, we've gone through just printing things off and handing it to school to now digital stuff, right? And having things
Remote
on
learning.
remote learning.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time for an organization, especially one that is in audiovisual, to exist, to go through all those changes. Those are a lot of changes.
You know, there's a lot of challenges. Do people watch broadcast television anymore? Do people, how important is it? Can't you just go to YouTube and find it? And I'll tell you, for WCTE serving a rural community in the Upper Cumberland, it is a lifeline. It is vital for these people. We serve the ruralest of the area in Tennessee, Jackson County, you know, down in the hollers, up in Overton County, over in Cravenstown, just to name a few. Birdstown. I know we have some viewers up in Birdstown because they call and let us know. We even reach into the southern part of Kentucky. And if it weren't for WCT having free over-the-air programming, I'm not sure what they would get.
Right. And we're up to date now, right? I mean, I have a Roku at home, and you can watch WCT on your Roku as well. You can watch it on our website. You can watch all the channels on our website as well and stream. And so we're up to date with the times. But what you're talking about are people that don't have that access. And let's not also forget that it's not all about just the TV. We do a lot of things on the ground. As the education person, I can tell you a lot of my job and the people in my department's job is boots on the ground in the school system.
That's right.
And I visit a lot of the school systems. And then, as we talked about with our Ready to Learn initiative that we are in 14 counties, that's not broadcast. That's work we do on the ground.
That's boots on the ground, working individually with those families and those educators, and making sure that every child, no matter their circumstances, has the resources to get them school ready.
Yes. And then on top of that, we'll do some fun stuff like Stations of Imaginations. September the 6th, please be here to enjoy all the fun stuff for all the kids. Is in conjunction with Fall Fun Fest.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yes.
And it's a long time tradition. Lots of families come out and support that. But we're getting the 1 minute. And I know you have another guest coming in, a very special guest. It's been with us for, speaking of longevity, he's been with us for a long time. The Academic Bowl is just one way that we serve the Upper Cumberland's youth. We give them TV time, which is fun. And we saw and met with Corby earlier today. And, you know, as you finish up your interview today with Dr. Brian O'Connor, we're going to take a little break, go into News Hour, but we're going to be back at 7 with some more guests. So I hope you'll stay tuned in after the News Hour for us. And if you haven't given or you haven't yet become a member, I hope you'll consider doing that. Join our members, our 2,400 plus members, and help us fund the work that we do right here locally in this community.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. When you come back, I want to hear what your favorite thing is about working here at WCTE.
There's so many.
So we'll be right back with Brian O'Connor.
WCTE's Day of Support is brought to you by Rogers Group, Swallows Insurance, and Cheryl Sandlin.
Over the years, the amazing people of the Upper Cumberland have generously supported our mission at WCTE, and we cannot thank you enough for all you have done to help make what we do for our region possible. If you're not a member of WCTE, you can become one today and join our wonderful family.
WCTE PBS needs your help. To keep the programs you love on the air, we must grow our membership by 50%. That means we need your support, your voice, and your belief in what public media brings to our community. Support what matters, watch what matters. Give now at wcte.org/support.
Welcome back. I'm Cephas Ablakwa here again, and I'm here with Dr. Brian O'Connor from Tennessee Tech.
Hi, Cephas. Good to be here.
Welcome. First, before we get into it, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a math professor at Tennessee Tech University. Tomorrow I start my 49th year of teaching.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's a long time. I'm a grad of Tennessee Tech a few times over. so where did you come from? What's your alma mater?
Originally from the Chicago area and grew up there, and then went to undergraduate school at Cornell University. Graduated there as a math major. Then I went to the University of Illinois for graduate school. Taught 1 year at Murray State University in Kentucky, was I was finishing up my dissertation. And when I finished, I came here and I've been here ever since.
Yeah, and I think Avery was one of your students, right? Our
Avery was
CEO.
one of my students. That's
well,
right.
good. Well, she keeps the books and the numbers.
That's
I
right.
think you'll be impressed.
Yes.
Good. Well, so we're here to talk to you about your connection with WCTE. Now, how long have you been connected with WCTE?
Well, I got to thinking, I came to Cookeville about the same time that WCTE started, because I came in 1979.
All
so I've been
right.
here about as long as the station has and watched it kind of grow up and doing wonderful things. So I've been connected more specifically with the Academic Bowl, the High School Academic Bowl, and I've been doing that for about the last 20 years as moderator, and then I've been supplying questions for the last few years, and I enjoy that. It's lots of fun.
So how did you get involved in it? Who was doing it before, and how did you get into that role of being the moderator and the question writer?
Well, growing up, when I in the Chicago area, I was on the It's Academic team for our high school, and we got to the finals and finished in second place. And then when I was at grad school at the University of Illinois, they had what was called a trivia bowl, and our team won it 4 years in a row. After that, we decided to give somebody else a chance, and I was a moderator there. When I came to Tech, I was doing various moderating duties, such as the High School Science Bowl and College Bowl and things like that. The Academic Bowl on WCTE was being done by Hal Denton, who was the host then. And I, at one point, told him, I said, if you ever need a spell or you want me to do some of that, I can do it. So that's how I wound up doing that. And the last, say, 10 or 12 years, I've been supplying questions. I've been writing them all, but I've been assembling them from various sources. So
Yeah.
it works out pretty well.
So what is the, I guess, what's the importance of the academic bowl for students and for people that are not used to what an academic bowl is?
One of the things I like to mention is that this is something that gives recognition to high school students outside of the athletic arena. I mean, there's plenty of recognition there with all the various teams, but this is a team too, and they do a good job and work at it, and we really appreciate their efforts, and it's lots of fun being with them, talking with them, and having a good time.
So from what you said, you have done several different types of bowls, and I'm guessing WCTE is one that is it's the one that's televised. So could you talk about maybe the opportunities and challenges that being televised brings for you and the students?
One thing I like to mention is that we tape a whole bunch of segments in a row, and so that it doesn't look like I've camped out there overnight, I bring a bunch
Right.
of, my wife is my wardrobe consultant, my wife Susan, and for a given shirt, why she picks out various ties that goes with them, and before the matches, I let the teams decide which tie they want me to. There's a picture that shows that, so I had various ties, and I let the teams choose it and get to interact with them, and that's lots of fun.
And that's become iconic,
Yes.
you know, pretty much, because almost every team has something that they have a tie that they want to pick, and it's become one of the iconic things that happen when you come to the WCTE Academic Bowl. Now, you are a math professor, but it's good for our audience to know that these questions are not just math. It's not a math quiz bowl. Tell us a little bit more about the questions.
It's all sorts of areas. It's science, it's math, it's English, it's history, it's geography, it's poetry, it's current events, U.S. history, world history, things like that.
Yes.
So lots of a whole variety of things.
How has the I mean, for some of us, I've only been in Cookeville for 20 years now. Compared to you, that's nothing. So how has the academic bowl changed over the years from maybe even just as far back as just 8 or 10 years ago?
I don't know if it's changed. Well, of course, the people have changed because they graduate and go on, but we always have a good collection of students, and it's really fun to watch them come through and work with them. So I don't know if that much is. One thing that has changed is our location. We've been at various places between underneath the stadium when the station was there, and Derryberry Hall on the campus, and the STEM Center. We even did one year in the All Good City Hall. So that's one thing that's been changed. It's kind of interesting to do that.
Do you have any favorite moments from academic bowls that you can think of?
I was thinking of various questions, and there was one that sort of stuck in my mind. I came up with this one question. I thought I could have a little fun with it. And it was a bonus question. And I asked the teams, I said, the first United States Senate race where both major party candidates were African Americans was the Senate race in Illinois in 2004 for 10 points each. Who were the two candidates? Well, they didn't know, but I said the two candidates were Barack Obama and Alan Keyes, adding that Barack Obama because he's been president.
Right.
And I know Alan Keyes because about 35 years ago, I stood right next to him in the Cornell University Glee Club. So I had fun with that question.
Yes. Did not know that at all. Now, we want to get into some of your other work with WCTE and the award that you've gotten. I think we'll have about 2 minutes, and then when we come back from a break, we'll hear more about it. So tell us about your award at WCTE.
Well, I have it here. It's the Legacy Award, and it was the first annual. I was really honored to get this and really surprised for my work with the Academic Bowl, and I really appreciate it. Nice sculpture there and the plaques. So I was really honored to get that, and I really appreciate it.
Well, good. And you had a story that you told. I know you didn't have your trophy here with you. I don't know if we have time. You can share. You had a little trophy during the award ceremony, and you told a little story about that. Can you tell just a snippet of that story?
One of the back when I was in graduate school, and we had the Trivia Bowl. There was a national competition, and so the University of Illinois, our team entered, and we came in second. And one of the trophies they gave us could be best described as the south end of a horse facing north.
Well, wonderful.
I still have that.
I wish you would have brought it because I remember the speech you gave and you went on, and it was a wonderful punchline, and we all laughed. And so thank you so much. We've got about 30 seconds. I do want to, when we come back, I do want to talk about, again, some of the importance of volunteering at WCTE and you being a legacy award winner. What does it mean to get more people to volunteer? Because we are raising funds, but we can't do what we do without people like you, without people. I mean, you've given a lot of time, energy to make the Academic Bowl successful. And you were just there hosting again the last year. So when we come back, we can hear more about that. We'll be right back.
WCTE's Legacy Award is about someone who has contributed significantly to the Upper Cumberland community and who's done so over a number of years and left a lasting legacy in the area. This year's award winner is Brian O'Connor. Brian is the host of WCTE's Upper Cumberland High School Academic Bowl, and he's been a fixture in that and in the community, and he's been just a joy to watch, to see his passion for the students, his passion for education, his commitment to education. You know, not a lot of people know that Brian for years wrote every single question. That's thousands of questions over the past 20 years. When he needs to change ties, he'll ask the students which tie to wear. His questions are always engaging, interesting. We always have a big time in the truck listening to the questions. We've learned over the course of 20 years that the answer to every planetary question is not Uranus. I can't think of anyone who is more deserving of this award because of the impact, the commitment, the passion that Brian has shown here in the Upper Cumberland community.
Welcome back. I'm Cephas Zablocka, and I'm still here with Brian O'Connor, our award winner and our longtime Academic Bowl host. And you won that award at the annual dinner. Tell us about that and Mr. Rogers and how all that went down.
Well, at the annual dinner, the theme of it was Mr. Rogers honoring his memory and being a good neighbor. And I got to thinking, if we're talking good neighbor, WCTE is truly a good neighbor. If you think about all the work that they do in the region, we're not a big city, but we do all sorts of local programming between cooking shows and events and parades and athletics and all sorts of things like that. And the Academic Bowl, of course, business leaders, things like that. It's just wonderful, the contribution that WCTE makes to our region, and it should be helped, it should be supported.
Well, thank you. And just as equally as important as WCTE's work, we cannot do it with people like you, our volunteers and our leaders in our communities that host and stick to it and are faithful. For years, you've hosted and written questions for the Academic Bowl. Talk a little bit more about the importance of that, and maybe is it a sense of a mission that you have that kind of drove you to just keep doing it?
I don't know if it's mission so much, it's fun to do. And, being in a smaller area, we don't necessarily have the luxury of saying, oh, other people will take care of this. We've got to step up and do this in whatever way is appropriate and whatever way can be helpful.
Well, thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done and continue to do. And I think you'll still be back for Academic Bowl to help every now and then. I think you're not writing questions anymore, but you're still going to be helping with the hosting.
I more or less ran out of questions, especially bonus questions. So we'll let somebody else have a crack at it.
Well, I think Ms. Molly is going to be writing some questions with us. And I think I like the duo, you and her going back and forth. And I think that has helped a lot, right? Giving you a break. Because, I mean, now that we have double elimination, that can be a long, long day. It's just a lot of questions to write. So wonderful. And talk a little bit about your wife and your work at Tennessee Tech before we close here.
My wife, Susan, we've been married 49 years. We have 2 children, our son, Kevin, who lives in town here, and our daughter, Carolyn, also lives in town. Her husband, Rex Bennett, is the Lane Motor Museums in Nashville education director. And I have one grandson, Harrison Bennett. He's just starting Cookeville High School.
Well, we got about 30 seconds before we leave. How is school going so far? I mean, we've not started yet, correct? But do you have your role? And
that's right.
You have your class. What are some of the classes you're teaching?
Teaching 2 seconds of Calculus 1 and differential equations. So that should keep me busy. I have some idea what I'm doing in those courses, but it's always a new term and it's exciting to do it again and see how it works and meet some more students and have a good time.
And you're going into your 50th year?
49th year.
49th year. Well, thank you so much. I think I should say thank you for your service to WCT and to the community. And we appreciate everything you've done for us. And thank you again. We'll be right back.
Hello there. I was able to work at WCTE PBS as an intern this summer. I was working in special events with Amber Carl, and more specifically, I got to work on the Great TV Auction. Now, although it was chaotic, it was sure a lot of fun and taught me so much. Now, some of my favorite parts about being a WCT intern would obviously probably be putting on the auction in the first place. It was my first time on live TV. Another thing, I was also able to go to ribbon cuttings and grand openings for new businesses in town, and it really just got to show me about how much WCTE really cares about their community and how they stay involved as much as possible. Thanks, WCTE, for this opportunity. Please donate today.
Over the years, the amazing people of the Upper Cumberland have generously supported our mission at WCTE, and we cannot thank you enough for all you have done to help make what we do for our region possible. If you're not a member of WCTE, you can become one today and join our wonderful family.
Welcome back, Cephas Blocker and Avery Hutchins. And before we left the first time, I said I was going to ask you about what your favorite thing is about working at WCTE as the CEO. So tell us a little bit about it.
I don't have enough time, Cephas. The news hour is going to start.
Well, that's true. So we can table that for later if you want to.
Well,
tell us about, give us an update.
I will tell you one thing that I love about WCTE, and it's probably the reason that I'm still working at the station after 14 years, which went by really fast, is the people that we serve and our donors and our supporters and our viewers that believe in the work that we do every day. That means the world to us because what we do is not always easy.
Yes.
And we're constantly working on a shoestring budget. We're always working with, maybe limited resources.
Yes,
and we do the best we can with what we have. And there is that I love the people I work with, but we couldn't do any of this if it weren't for the people that tune in every day and watch and give their gifts, give their membership, volunteer their time to make sure that we're successful.
And we are a community licensee, which means the community owns owns the license
That's
to the
right.
PBS station, and it's taken all our efforts. People like Brian O'Connor, Cindy Putnam, our partnership with Putnam County Schools, all our sponsors, all the volunteers.
Yes.
We could not do it
No.
by ourselves.
No.
The work is too much.
And it's been like this for 47 years.
Yes.
And, Becky was in here earlier talking about when she first started working at the station as an intern. I mean, that's where it begins. You kind of get the bug, don't you think?
Right, yes.
I mean, you kind of get here and you're like, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, 14 years has passed.
I'm thinking about all those years with the auction, at CPAC and all those volunteers and just having to do it. And now it's completely different. I mean, we have evolved with and kept up with the times.
I'm not a day older. What do you say?
Well, yes, we're not. We just keep going on.
I know.
And, even with this defunding, we're not. I think it's a misnomer to think that we're shutting our doors, because we're not.
No, that is correct.
We're here. We're here to stay. We're continuing to work. We're continuing to do the good work with the donations that are coming in, all the giving and all the support. And most importantly, the volunteers. People like Brian O'Connor and that put their hand to the plow and just help in whatever way they can. With Stations of Imagination coming up, we're going to need volunteers for that. I mean, we constantly need help. We constantly need help to do the work we do.
But it's so rewarding. Don't you find it to be super
Very
rewarding?
Yes, yes.
And if I was independently wealthy, I would still be at WCTE.
Yes.
I'd be able to give more to WCTE financially, but I would still be here. I would still be doing the work. I would still be as passionate about the mission that we do and we serve this Upper Cumberland. I don't know one job that I would want to do other than this.
Well, it is a good job, and and when we talk about,
and we're glad to have it.
We are glad to have it, and with the support that we have, and when we talk about the work that Venestia is doing with Empower, those times that she goes, it's not just her. There's several volunteers that come to help, and the churches that the churches are a huge part of what we do. We collaborate with them. They let us use their spaces to feed and to teach.
Yep, through the Empower program. Yeah. Well, when they say it takes a village, it takes a village but we love to collaborate with the Upper Cumberland Development District or the Putnam County Schools and Cityscape. The list goes on, and we are better when we are together. And I just want to remind people at home that, this is our day of support. This is our day to raise revenue dollars for the work that we do. We're wanting people to become members. So it's $5 a month, $60 a year.
Yes.
It's basically a coffee. And you're changing lives with that gift.
Yes. And for some that drink expensive coffee, that could be $20 a month. That could be $25 a month or $50 a month.
Right.
Some people drink expensive coffee. So it could be that. So, but we're so thankful for all the gifts and the donations and the support that has poured in these last few months.
We've had a scroller come up. I don't know if you've seen it or caught it, but in 1982, we had 152 members, and they gave $25 for an annual membership. So we've come a little ways.
Yeah. Well, you want to tell us about News Hour and what's coming up?
Well, we've got News Hour, which is really popular, and we wanted to make sure our viewers at home could enjoy that. So we are going to take a slight break, during News Hour, but we're going to be back at 7 with some more interviews, some more testimonials, and some more stories of impact.
All right. See you in a little bit.
WCTE's Day of Support is brought to you by Rogers Group, Swallows Insurance, and Cheryl Sandlin.